see. Are we going live? Yeah. Yes, we are. Sup, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday to each of one of you. Remember, if you're watching this over on YouTube, please remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most importantly, come join us live. It's always better when it's live. Boosted Ape Lord, how you doing, brother? Am I the first one here? I think you are. I think you are indeed. I'm happy to have you here, bro. It's good to have you. It's good. It's usually Mr. Smokin' that's first, so he's gonna fucking hate it. I'm good. I was in the waiting room while playing COD. How's COD going, bro? Are you playing just normal COD? Dipravat, how you doing, brother? Are you playing just normal COD, or are you playing Warzone? I fucking love Warzone, dude. Warzone is good fun. Warzone is great fun. So, yeah, right on board with that. By the way, I'm going to play an ad now so that you guys don't get ads later in the stream. So, don't freak out. We won't talk about anything important. Yeah? Don't worry about that. You're not missing anything. G to pay $60 for a COD game every year? Perfect. I get you, fam. I get you. I didn't buy COD. I also just have the Warzone because I'm not really a COD player. I don't care about the multiplayer shit in COD. You know, I genuinely don't care. So for me, Warzone is pretty much like I do it every few months, and then that's it. You know, every few months I'll log in and I'll have a little bit of a COD moment, and that really is it for me. If I bought the game, it would be mostly wasted. Was on a super fun with friends? Oh yeah. The one reason I've stopped playing is because all of my friends moved on. They're now playing New World, I suppose. I guess, yeah, New World. Most of them are playing New World anyways. And I don't want to play New World. So, no point. But yeah, my friends used to play like a lot of Warzone. And every once in a while, I just have this. Mickey Moto, how you doing? Aki, how you doing? Wild Boy, how you doing? Dalaman, how you doing? Every once in a while, I would jump into some Warzone just for the fucking shits and giggles. But I do miss the PUBG days, dude. Allison, how you doing? I miss the PUBG days. PUBG was my first real entry into FPS, and I fucking loved it. Many as one, how you doing, bro? I loved it. Mr. Smokin', how you doing, bro? I heard PUBG was intense. Warzone is just super fast-paced. True. Good morning. How are you? Mr. Nubsy. How you doing, brother? I am good. Thank you very much for asking. Georgie, how you doing? Aaron, how you doing? Robostall, how you doing? Serious talk, yes. Serious talk. It's just Friday, dude. It's just Friday. You guys should know not to trust the fucking word I put in the title and the notification for the streams. Like, you should know not to trust shit. When I literally use the title. I just write whatever the fuck I think about. Something comes to my mind. I'm like, yeah, I'll write that. I don't know what else to fucking write there, so I may as well just write that. I don't really. It's rare that I will write something that makes sense in the title or the notification. Are you going over all the interviews for 9-2? No. I wanted to, but no. We'll talk about them. I've read all of the interviews. I've gone through all of them. The ones that matter anyways. So we can talk about them, but I'm not going to go through them again. There's very little actually given in the interviews. It's unlike anything I've actually seen before. Because it used to be, like, Blizzard would announce their new PTR stuff, right? And then the interviews would just go into so much fucking detail. Whereas this time around, most of the interviews boil down to, we'll have more information for you in the future. It's like, oh, why the fuck did you do the interview? You may as well just have fucking left it, right? If you're not going to say shit. HBJ, how you doing, bro? Maybe a little is ready so far. Yeah, well, it's possible, right? It is entirely possible that there's nothing ready yet. And so they're just sort of buying time. I don't put that beyond the realms of possibility. There's a couple of things that saddens me quite heavily in the interviews. There was a couple of discussions and a couple of things that was dropped in the interviews that really made me sad. But nothing really excited me about the interviews. And I guess that's fair. I'd like to know from you guys, how many of you were very excited after the 9.2 reveal? Oh, Jerry Coffee, you're not alone. You are not fucking alone. How do you like the 3D printer Pantheon of Death? Oh, very cool. Very cool. Like I'll sort of like, we'll wait for people to filter in, right? As soon as everyone's here, we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll start talking. I will be resubbing. But for only one reason: the runes. Literally, the only thing that excites me is the runes. The fact that we're gonna learn how to decipher the runes and actually learn the meaning behind the runes. That's literally the only thing. Out of everything I've seen, I was literally, that was the one thing that almost made me not be able to sleep. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be able to learn the runic language. That's it. That was genuinely it for me. Everything else was just like, couldn't care less about most of the things. Morny, how you doing? Timothy, how you doing? Brian, how you doing? The Gero are cute. That's true. The Gero are very cute. Very, very cute. No exception. I don't trust the Newser and Hazakostas. Because of them, I'm afraid of 10.0. Yeah, we'll talk about all of that. We're waiting for people to filter in, and then we'll get to that. Grab your coffees, because it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm still waiting for my RAM. I was just informed this morning that they tested my RAM. The RAM is fucking broken. And so they'll be sending me new RAM. The RAM has been shipped, so I'll probably get it on Monday, which means that from next week it's gaming time. Oh yeah, bro! It's fucking gaming time from next week. I'm very happy about that. Coffee and apples seems a bit of a fucking weird combo. I mean, I don't think I've ever had coffee and apples. The Giro? Or you mean the Protoss? The Protoss? 32 ounces of coffee, so good to go. I've got, I don't know how much 32 ounces are. This is about 500 ml of coffee that I have in my hand here. So I'm good for about 2 hours. I drink about 8 of these a day in terms of coffee. I drink about 8. Where the fuck's my Pepsi Max? Oh, not next to me. Never mind. I've got my Pepsi Max. I'm good. I'm great. It's a relaxing day. I didn't even close my door because there's a lovely breeze coming in. There's a storm coming in. So there's like a breeze going through my room. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is lovely. I have the air conditioner, but when everything's closed, it just feels so fucking... So it's nice to have some fresh air coming in. Luna, how you doing? Storm Twinsies. I love when a storm starts rolling in. It's one of the good things about Pretoria. When storms start flowing, like, because we have my yard. You guys have seen my yard, right? It's trees everywhere. Like, my entire yard is just surrounded by trees, like, forms a wall of trees. And then when a storm blows in, hearing the leaves as the wind blows through it, it's incredibly fucking, almost hypnotic in a way. It's just a lot of fun. Tagliatelle for the win. I was like, what? I would piss myself with that much coffee back to back. No, therapeutic is actually the word I was looking for. Thank you, Luna. Really appreciate that. Inglando striking again. Gatanov, how you doing, bro? The guy was supposed to be a total treat to Azeroth. We spent threat to Azeroth trying to fight all of his minions, and we finished where? We don't even know where. Oh, believe me, I've got a lot to say. I've got a lot to fucking say about the writing and just how everything plays out. We'll wait a bit before we get into it. I don't want to start and then like halfway through the stream people start filtering in and going, hey, have you talked about this? And I'm like, yeah, I spoke about this years ago. So let's just hang out for a bit, have some coffee, chill out, and then we'll do our the regular song and dance that we do on the channel. It feels like I've just been negative the whole time, dude. I am so done with the negativity, man. I need to walk away is what I have to do. I need to walk away because I've reached the point where I don't find anything to be positive about in World of Warcraft. Even the lore has the one thing that kept the game for me was the lore, and even that has now reached a point where I'm not convinced that the lore is good enough. I'm not convinced that the lore is going in the right direction. The runes, champion. Yeah, the runes. Maybe the last bastion of hope, as far as I'm concerned. But no, I'm sort of, yeah, I don't know. It's strange. It is strange. But maybe it is time for a change. Maybe a change is good. Maybe it's time for new content, new games, different types of content, different types of games. You never know. Maybe in 10.0. I saw a leak, which might be worth sort of discussing. Now, I don't know if this may have just been... I can't find any source for this. Let me just look for it. I was popping in for greetings. I'm in school, though, so bye. Bye, Luna. Thank you very much for popping in, and good luck. Good luck in school. You need to leave school, by the way. School sucks. Hold up. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I don't even plan on showing you guys this if it's not been deleted, of course. When the fuck was this shared with me? Arcane, how you doing, brother? When I saw the developer's preview for 9.2, the first thing that came to mind for me was the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The only thing I got, like, the first thing I got excited for is the mini chocobos. They call them chicken. They're chocobos, obviously, and we will have no further discussions on that fact. But that was sort of the only thing that excited me. And then there was a lot of disappointment, and then the runes got announced, and that was exciting to me as well. So yeah, excitement all around, I suppose. So this got shared with me, and I'm not sure from where. So I can't find where this is from. Now, maybe it's at the end of the video. I didn't watch the end of the video, so it's possible, I suppose. But maybe one of you know where this is from. Because this was shared with me on Twitter. But going through all of their slides that they have available on their website for media, I can't find this, and no one seems to be speaking on this, so I'm assuming it's fake. Elorang says it's fake as well. I'm assuming so. One of the reasons I thought it was fake was launching spring 2022. That's a long-ass time. That's a long-ass time. Now, of course, spring can be anywhere. It can literally be the first day of spring, which would make it too long of a time, I suppose. But if Blizzard really wanted to at least keep people in, they would probably launch earlier than that. And then, of course, the name after it was announced. Because this was announced, this was shared with me, I believe, yeah, just after. You can see there, just after. So clearly someone knew something, because this was quick. This was quick, right? Fate of Eternity. This is really quick to make a leak like this. So if we're arguing, let's say this is completely fake, right? Yeah, it doesn't say end. That's true, right? But let's imagine, and I think it is completely fake, yeah? But considering how quick this is, yeah? Considering how quick this is, and as Ellie Rank just said here, it was published before the announcement, right? Is there a chance, and I'm just asking this as sort of maybe, distracted, thank you very much for the follow, dude, really appreciate that. Is there a chance that this person knew something, maybe very early information? Because here's the thing, one thing I know for a fact, DK Callan, how you doing? Alex, how you doing? One thing I know for a fact, right, is that Blizzard usually have like multiple names for patches and expansions before they finalize one. So they'll keep changing and changing and changing until such time that they find the name that they want to go with. So could we say that whoever made this, right, had some insights into Blizzard? Like they knew something. Pyro, how you doing, brother? Pyromaniac, how you doing, bro? Watching your demented grandma get worse. May we say? Because here's the thing. You say that this was made before, right? This was made before the thing even went live, right? Now, we can go through this and we can say New Realms, Zereth Mortis, easy guess. Pretty easy guess, right? New PvE contents, trial of the first ones. The raid, I suppose, but, whatever. Or it could be the rune system that they're referring to here, and maybe the rune system was at first called the trial of the first ones, maybe. New dungeon and raid, wrong. All right. Unified factions, wrong, and much more, wrong. Could it be that this was planned? What do you think, chat? I'm not selling this to you as true. I'm asking you, what do you think? Do you think that this person had some leaks? Like proper people inside Blizzard that knew stuff, that told them stuff? And they sort of went, okay, I'll put this in. Think it's educated guessing. I'll tell you what. If they're going to do World of Warcraft Awakenings, I'll be on board with that. If they do World of Warcraft Awakenings, that would be good, right? I don't like the new class mechanic. They should fuck that off right away. New system Eurostars, yeah, they could fuck off with that too. But I will say that if they did a World of Warcraft Awakenings, I'd be on board, right? And I actually know how they could do it. Like, let's imagine, okay, just for a second. We obviously know that this is bullshit, right? The dates are wrong. The names are wrong. We know this is bullshit. What we do know for a fact, we know that Wrath of the Lich King Classic is going to come probably next year, right? At least they got Eternity right, so we'll give them that, yeah? We'll say they got Eternity right. They didn't get Eternity's End, but they did get Eternity. That's at least, that landed well, right? But I want to focus on this. Out of the bullshit leak that we have here, yeah? What I want to focus on is this bit. World of Warcraft Awakenings. Now, again, need to fucking preface this by saying very clearly for everyone in the back, this is bullshit, right? None of this panned out the way that this guy had hoped. It would have been cool if we got a new dungeon and a new raid. It would have been cool if unified factions was indeed a thing, right? Although I still believe that factions should be treated very, very differently. I don't think that the acronym for the new raid is going to be SFO. That's a word we use here in Denmark for daycare stuff. Thanks to Kaylin for getting me thinking of this. All right, so it is daycare. Yeah, Blizzard is sending all of you to daycare. I don't think factions, so just to be clear, I don't think factions should be unified. I believe that factions should be made optional, or at least player agency should be involved, yeah? So for me personally, I would like to have seen the ability to choose which faction you wish to join based on your own opinion, yeah? And then you have guilds be the thing that choose the faction, right? So instead of factions mattering, you have guilds who pledge themselves to specific factions. So your guild can decide that they wish to pledge themselves to the Alliance or to the Horde, right? And then if you join that guild, you are now in an Alliance guild. That means your guild is set somewhere in Stormwind. Your guild is set somewhere in Orgrimmar, right? That's what I would like to see. That personally is what I would love to see. And you can swap by doing, and listen to this, I've been spending a lot of time on this. The way in which you swap your faction. So let's imagine you decided you want to join X faction or Y faction or whatever the case might be, right? You decided to join Alliance, but now your favorite guild has sort of gone to the Horde, or they're on the Horde side and you want to join the Horde. You have to go speak to an NPC then you have to defect. The way you defect is through a myriad of instances or scenarios, right? These are single group scenarios or single person scenarios where you have to infiltrate, say, the Alliance keep, and you have to steal documents, right? And another one might be you have to go and kill an Alliance general by infiltrating the camp and killing the general. So you basically have to prove that you're willing to defect. But there's also the ability for a guild to defect. So an entire guild could decide, well, we prefer the story on the Horde side this time, we'll defect. And if you defect as a guild, you have an actual battle, like an actual raid battle that you have to fight as a guild, where you fight one of the higher ups in the Alliance or one of the higher ups in the Horde, and that's how you defect. That's how you join the faction that you want to join. I personally believe that that would be a hell of a lot more fun for players, because players could first and foremost choose where they want to play, right? So you choose your race based on the race that you love, right? And then you choose your faction based on the faction whose story makes the most sense to you. And that's sort of the thing that I would love to see most. Now, on to this next part of the leak. Leak is bullshit. Let's say this again. Leak is bullshit. Leak is not leak. Leak is not true. Leak is speculation from someone that almost got it right, but not quite, right? So here's the thing, right? World of Warcraft Awakenings, I would be on board with this. And you want to know how Blizzard could pull it off? With literally zero effort. Zero effort. We make our way into the raid, right? We're going to go fight Zuval. And then we learn that we're not actually alive. We're not actually alive. And I have to give full credit to Asmongold, because he was actually the guy who inspired this thought. We were killed at the end of 8.3. We never actually managed to kill kill N'Zoth. N'Zoth killed us, as Sylvanas stated he would. He would leave the bodies of the Horde and the Alliance in the streets of their capital cities. Right? We died there. Everything we saw was his vision after he killed us. We then ventured into the Shadowlands, right? And we are actually part of the dead. We are dead. We are no longer alive within the Shadowlands. But we are different because of our connection to Azeroth. We are not the same as any of the other beings within the Shadowlands. And so that's why they thought we are just mortals, right? We must be mortals because we're not the same as the other dead. And it's in this moment that we realize that Zuval is not in fact the bad guy. Zuval is not in fact the enemy. Zuval has been doing this, and he specifically decided to do this now because we lost against the old gods. You see, Zuval was willing to ride it out. He was willing to sit back and see whether or not the mortals could defeat the Void. But when we lost against the Void, he realized he cannot let this realm, this universe, in the hands of the Void. This unifies the story of Zuval and Sargeras, right? Why Sargeras ultimately decided to turn against the Pantheon and start destroying the universe in the hopes of stopping the Void. This unifies their friendship or their brotherhood and why they work together for so very long. It unifies the story of Zuval, because right now Zuval's story doesn't make sense one fucking bit. But if you connect Zuval's story to him actually realizing that we are dead, realizing that we should technically not be allowed to do the things that we're doing, this would also explain why Zuval sees Anduin and goes, interesting, when Anduin uses the light. Because Anduin is dead. Anduin isn't supposed to be able to use the light, not as a being that is dead. The light doesn't have sway over the dead. So for Zuval, it's like, how are you doing that? That's interesting. That's very interesting to me. The fact that the light answers you even though you're dead, even though you're now in my realm. It explains everything. All of the plot holes of Shadowlands suddenly make sense. It makes sense why Shadowlands was sold to us so poorly, because it was all a dream. And in the bullshit leak, right? World of Warcraft Awakenings is literally that. We awaken. So Zuval wasn't trying to basically dominate the universe. He was trying to reorder it. He was basically trying to turn back time to a time before we fell to N'Zoth. And that's why it's called World of Warcraft Awakenings. Because we awaken before Classic even. We awaken in World of Warcraft before all of this happened. Before everything fucking went wrong. And you start from scratch. You start over. You have the Chromie and the Bronze Dragonflight in order to go back to the old world and collect whatever the fuck you want to collect. Right? Those things don't go away. But you now have a brand new world. Now, for me, this would be the best way to tell the story. At least from where it is now. Right? Because right now, as things stand, I do not believe that I don't believe that Shadowlands can be salvaged. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But what do you guys think of this? Yeah, basically pre-Sundering is where we return to, Jerry Carver. Yes. Think it's interesting? Oh yeah. I think it would be so much fun. Mr. Smokin', you never know. Maybe Steve Denuser surprises all of us, right? Maybe he surprises all of us. Maybe it turns out that guy is a next level storyteller. You never know. Maybe as it turns out, that guy is actually J.R. Tolkien. You never know, right? Tolkien has fuck all on the newser. This guy writes next level. We just don't know, right? It's possible. There is no way we did. We beat N'Zoth at the end of BFA. Blizz never showed us dying to N'Zoth, so therefore we never died. You can't say that. You can't say that. I could literally write the story right now to the point where you are dead. You just don't know about it. Apple, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome. Maybe if they resurrect Tolkien, that man can barely find his way to the bathroom before crapping his pants. Like I said, we don't know, right? We don't know. You're Already Dead is an old Cthulhu line, which was repeated in WoD, in one of the dungeons. Only certainty is your death, but you have to do something with N'Zoth calling us my devoted chosen. We have been warned multiple times that we are already dead. Cthulhu, as you just mentioned, Cthulhu said that we are already dead. Yogg-Saron calls himself the god of death, right? And he keeps telling us to not stop fighting the inevitable. We have Il'gynoth in Legion, who tells us that it is inevitable. Our demise. We keep fighting it, and we shouldn't be fighting it. We should just let it in, right? Death has been a part of the old gods' storylines for a very long time. KitKat, thank you for the primes. I really appreciate that. 5 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, I think that could be a really cool fucking story. If Blizzard could pull that off, I would say, hell yes. Good story. Then Shadowlands is actually redeemed, in my opinion. That story that I just pitched to all of you, that story redeems Shadowlands. On the picture of the jailer in the raid behind him, the energy beam looks like Azerite. True, Katanov, it does, actually. But there's a number of things in the Shadowlands that looks like Azerite. The only way Shadowlands makes sense. True, Shamanita, that is literally true. Without that twist that I just gave you guys, Shadowlands makes no sense. And I'll tell you why. So, Let me explain to you why 9.2 story is going to fall completely and utterly flat. And again, I have Asmongold to thank for sort of putting words to a thought that I've been having for a long time. Last night, as I was reading all of the interviews and sort of going through all of the information about 9.2, I saw Asmongold streaming and I just sort of logged on, right? Because he was going to do his reaction to 9.2 stuff. And I was just hanging out in Asmongold's chat, shooting the shit. And Asmongold said something that immediately got me thinking. Why is Zuval the bad guy? Can any of you explain that to me? Like, genuine question. Why? What makes Zuval the bad guy? Outside of the fact that we've been told, right, that he is the bad guy, which of course was told to us by people that I consider to be far more bad than Zuval. There's no evidence in that game whatsoever that Zuval is in fact a bad guy. Gobbies, the thing is, again, that is just a small part of the story, right? We see Zuval using domination magic to enslave people, but we don't know his motives. If we knew his motives, then we could maybe say, yeah, he's enslaving people to do bad shit. But you don't know, right? It is possible that he's enslaving us to save us, right? That he realizes we'll never see it his way because we've been poisoned. Our minds have been poisoned, and he decided, look, I'm just going to fucking enslave you because it's easier than explaining it. And I'm not going to waste my time explaining shit to mortals trying to get them on our side, right? But what I'm more talking about here is plot, right? When you write a story, it's very important that you write your protagonist to actually be a protagonist, and you write your antagonist to actually be an antagonist, right? There should never be any doubt in the viewer's mind or in the reader's mind that they are now dealing with the antagonist. Steve Denuser mouths off in 9.2 about how if we're there to help them deal with this threat, and we have to prove that we're there to deal with this threat. And I'm sitting there going, what threat? I'm not sure he's afraid. Right? I don't quite get it. I'm not quite in agreement that this guy is in fact a threat. Right? Because you've never explained it to me. You've never told me why he is a threat. You've used small little lines here and there that tell me this bad guy, big bad, don't trust him. But I don't really know that he's the bad guy outside of you telling me that he's the bad guy. And that's not really how you should tell a story. You should convince me. For example, when Legion was announced, did any of you doubt that Sargeras is a bad guy and that we have to stop him? Chief, how you doing? Thank you much for the first time chat, dude. Really appreciate it. Welcome. Cyrena, how you doing? I guarantee you now, none of us doubted that Sargeras was the bad guy when Legion launched. Why didn't we doubt it? Because we knew that Sargeras was the bad guy, literally, from the fucking offset, right? You knew Sargeras was the bad guy from TBC. Like, his badness have been established over and over and over again, right? Well, you can say since Warcraft 3, but in Warcraft 3, he was actually still very much sort of a behind-the-scenes character. In Warcraft 3, he wasn't even really considered to be the ultimate threat. Chris Mason once had a massive talk about this. He didn't actually believe that Sargeras... Like, he actually wanted to write Sargeras as just sort of a forgotten figure of history, right? And then as he was writing Sargeras, he realized, well, this is a cool fucking character. I'm going to make him the guy, right? I'm going to make him the bad guy. And that really only happened towards Warcraft, right? World of Warcraft. Because in Warcraft 3, he was still sort of just... Like, you know, he was one of the Titans and he was sort of doing bad things, but he wasn't really considered to be the big bad. But ever since World of Warcraft, we've known that he is the big bad. We know the things that he did to the Eridar, or the Draenei, right? We know that he wishes to destroy the world and all life in it, right? So if you cast aside the doubts that we have because we don't quite trust the Titans, there was more than enough evidence of Sargeras's true motivations for the player to form an opinion and know that that opinion is at least mostly true. When it comes to Zuval, there's been nothing that really helps me form an opinion that could prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this guy is bad. Now you could say, well, Akalon, didn't he kill thousands of night elves? And my answer to you would be, well, this guy is after all a god, and to gods we don't matter. And if his ultimate goal is to destroy the old gods and destroy the cycles of life and death, then killing a bunch of people because you're going to bring them back to life doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really hurt. Because, again, I could come up with... You see, this is the problem. I could come up with so many explanations for why Zuval probably isn't as bad as people think. And I shouldn't be able to do that, right? Not at this point in the story. At this point in the story, I should at least know that he is at least mostly bad. And that really is the problem with Blizzard storytelling. That is why 9.2 cannot work, because it's built on the same faulty foundation as the rest of Shadowlands. The story is still built on this, just accept it because we say it, rather than showing us what is going on, right? I need to be able to see what is going on. There's a couple of other things that also really pissed me off. For example, the author storyline, clearly, guess it's been completely ignored and removed. Torghast is done, by the way, for those of you that didn't know. Outcome, what he is doing the whole time. Furiax, I can say that about gods, because gods do not really adhere to our sense of morality. If you wanted to make that point about a mortal, I could say, sure, I have an agreement with you there. But when it comes to gods, they're not really tied to our sense of morality. So, yes, when it comes to a god, I could say, he's doing mean shit, but he wants to fix things, right? Before you guys go thank God, you have to really think about just how fucking sucky this is. I want you to really think about the removal of Torghast, just the giving up of Torghast, and how that is the one reason why World of Warcraft is in the fucking state that it is in. Because Ian Hazzikostas refuses to fix things. If one of his systems doesn't work, his ego does not allow him to fix the system. No, fucking forget it. Leave it. Fuck them. They didn't want to play it, then go fuck themselves. He basically, in an interview, now, again, there could still be changes made, and it could still go a different direction, but in his interview with Millennium, a French outlet, he was asked about Torghast, and he said, well, we're removing Soul Ash from Torghast, and we're moving it to Zereth Mortis, so people will do Zereth Mortis for the new legendary upgrades and stuff. He said, I think asking players to keep doing Torghast every single week has run its course, and it's time for us to move on. People will still be able to get their cosmetics from Torment, but, for now, this is over. And I thought to myself, so in other words, we wasted our time again. Another 2 years fucking wasted on beta testing your bullshit just for you to go, well, fuck it, didn't work. We'll try something else next expansion. Isn't now the time to fix it? Shouldn't you now fix the system? I mean, it's broken. By fixing it, maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll take something away from that. But no, just give up on it. And yes, Bigronny, I dislike Torghast, but I also love Torghast. I've said this before. I actually like Torghast very much. What I dislike about Torghast is that I'm forced to do it. And the way in which I'm forced to do it. But Torghast as a concept, I love. I think Torghast could be one of the greatest systems in World of Warcraft ever. But because of Soul Ash and because I'm forced to do it, and because I'm forced to do it in the way that they designed it because of Soul Ash, I hate it. And that's my issue with World of Warcraft. That's my issue with Torghast. That is my issue with fucking Ian Hazikostas. The dude refuses to acknowledge when he's made a mistake and to actually fix the mistake. Instead, he just gives up on mistakes. He just moves on. It's like, well, yeah, okay, clearly they didn't like that, so they can go fuck themselves. I'll just remove this from the game. No, bro. It has potential. It has potential. It could be fucking amazing. If you remove the Soul Ash, you make it cosmetic only, you make it unlimited floors, you put some bosses in there that's actually challenging, that people could die to, you put some bad luck in there, you add a couple of more really fun and quirky powers to it, people would spend crazy amounts of hours running Torghast. Because it's enjoyable. It has a place in an MMO. But instead, Ian just gives up. Ian is just like, fuck that system then. We'll do something else in the future. And then again, we'll beta test it for about 2 years and then they'll remove it again because, you know, that's what Ian does. We are the beta testers of World of Warcraft. OG, thank you much for the tier 1 sub, dude. Really appreciate it. 26 months in a row. Thank you. It's gotten to the point now where I am sick and tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of the consistent beta testing that we do for systems that just get removed. When they shouldn't be removed. They should be fixed. They should be made better. I don't think Ian has actually learned the lessons that he should have learned. That questing has sucked for a long time now, and you can finally put a face to who's responsible. The current lead quest designer, Maria Hamilton, only started the job this year. Okay, that's not bad. All right, then I'm sad to have blamed her. I'm sorry, Maria, for blaming you for the shit quest design of World of Warcraft forever. Maybe you could take a break and go figure out how to do better quests in World of Warcraft. If they give the collectors fun things to do and work towards, they will have subs for life. True. All you need to do is figure out how to add as many things to the game for as many people as possible. But that's not what Ian does. Never what Ian does. And that's what breaks me. It's what breaks me at the moment. It's why I'm... So I told Alex, literally this morning, I told Alex that I think I'm done with WoW. At least for now. I think I'm over it. I can't keep doing this negativity thing. I can't keep going down this negativity route where everything Blizzard announces just boils my fucking blood, dude. Because it's never what I want. It's never what I expected. It's never what it needs to fucking be, which is my biggest problem with it. Right?
Did you see Preach's rant on Ion's interview? It is worth seeing it, if you haven't. On
I have it.
26/21.
I did see it, yes. I watched Preach's rant. I had my own rant on that interview. DS Cut, no. Other games as well. We'll do Final Fantasy 14, but I also want to play some Star Wars The Old Republic. I've never played Star Wars The Old Republic. So I want to play that. I want to test it out. I'll give ESO a try. I'll give Guild Wars 2 a try. I'll play any games, right? I'll give any and all games a try and do some videos on what it's like. What it's like in 2021 to play some of the older games. Maybe some of the games that people have forgotten. So no, I'm not going to tie myself down to just one game ever again, right? I'm not going to tie myself into any single game ever again. Instead, what I'll do is I'll play multiple games and I'll play any games and I'll make videos on those games just as a sort of feedback loop, you know? What did I think of it? Was it fun? Did I enjoy it? And that doesn't mean that I'm completely removing WoW from my repertoire. If 10.0 comes out and it's actually good and it's actually fun, I'll talk about that as well. But maybe no longer as intimately as I used to. Because I'm truly at a point now where I can't keep going. They announce things and it's so fucking bonkers. They introduce a $60 fucking 60 boost when the expansion is still current, and it's like, excuse me, what the fuck? Your game isn't even done yet and you're allowing people to boost through it? Like, what are you doing? Bentley, how you doing, bro? Got a few 60s on Swatter? Let us know what server. I will definitely. I'll most likely join Zophia's server, because I know Sophia is one of the first people who asked me to try Swatter. Lockdog, how you doing, bro? I'm just so let me tell you guys what really pissed me off last night. What did we get twice now for Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker? Twice now. What did we get? In announcements. When Final Fantasy announced a bunch of things, what did we get twice now for Endwalker? A live event that's sort of 5 hours long. One of them was over 5 hours long. A live event in which Yoshi P sits there and explains in detail the philosophy behind what they're doing, exactly what they're doing, why they're doing it. Yes, we got apologies as well in the latest one, because the game got delayed and they truly apologized for what they had done. But we got 5-hour live streams to showcase what is coming. What did we get for Shadowlands 9.2? An 11-minute marketing video. Because that's all it was. It was a marketing video. It was literally a bunch of marketing. It was the equivalent of an advertisement. They were effectively showing you why you should give them money again, without actually telling you what they're giving you. That's all it was. It was the equivalent of a very long CGI cinematic, which is, of course, what Blizzard does all the time, right? It's the equivalent of that. It is literally Blizzard going, oh, look at all the shiny things we're adding. Look at all the shiny things we're adding. We're not telling you how we're adding it, nor are we telling you exactly what we're adding, but sub to find out. What do you say? Give us your money, huh? You want to find out what this is? Fuck off. Tell me why I should sub. Like, tell me why I should sub to this. Give me actual insight into what the fuck you're thinking, right? Instead, what does he do? Multiple times, he says, we'll be ready to talk about this at a later date. Fuck you, bro. Like, just fuck you. You'll be ready to talk about it now. How about you talk about it fucking now? Because you want my money. So tell me now why I should give you my money. Nigga Spider, good morning to you. How you doing? It's to think, after everything that we've been through with Shadowlands, they give us a fucking 11-minute teaser video of what they're gonna do. That, to me, is disrespectful. You owe us something. And by the way, it goes much deeper than that. Much, much deeper than that. Yoshi P spent about 2-3 weeks ago, he spent days doing interviews with different Final Fantasy content creators. Do you want to know how a Final Fantasy interview goes versus how a WoW interview goes? I have intimate knowledge of this. I've spoken to people who do both. In a World of Warcraft interview, you are required to submit your questions before the interview even starts, right? They need to have all of your questions. They then decide which questions can be asked and which questions will not be asked, right? Based on how they believe it should be done, right? In Final Fantasy, they just went in blind. They went in completely blind. They don't want to know what questions you're going to ask. And you want to know what that proves to me? And I could be wrong. This is me speculating. But you want to know what that proves to me? Yoshi P has intimate knowledge of every single thing that goes on in his game. He does not require going to the different departments to get an update on exactly, you know, what is going on, right? What are they doing? How should I answer this question? Any question you want to ask about Final Fantasy, Yoshi P can answer it, right? He knows the answer to it because he's the producer. He knows the game intimately. Ian, how many times have Ian been caught giving us information that turned out not to be true? This has happened multiple times, especially on the lore front. Ian will say things about the lore and the story that turns out to be completely and utterly bollocks. And I think the reason for it is Ian doesn't actually know what goes on in the game. Ian has to go to the different departments to figure out what is everyone doing, how do I answer this question, what information can you give me here? And then that answer goes through a massive PR thing where they remove all of the relevancy and all of the real things that people care about, and they just give you a PR statement that that's sort of what you're going to be applying across the board. To me, that's what it seems like. I need to see something real from Blizzard, right? He is the game director. We have a producer, John Haidt. We have a producer for World of Warcraft as well. But World of Warcraft's setup is very different, Tim. So in Final Fantasy, their producer is basically Ian, right? So it seems like Squeenix, they don't have a game director and a producer. It seems like they might have a game director as well, right? But the producer, Yoshi P, is basically the game director, right? Whereas in World of Warcraft, John Haidt, it is my understanding at least, because John Haidt is doing the job that J. Allen Brack used to do. The producer for World of Warcraft, at least in Blizzard, the producers in Blizzard are more akin to the producers of films and movies in the US, right? So it's very Hollywood-esque. Now, if you don't know, producers in Hollywood, they don't really make the movie. Well, they make the movie, but they don't really make the movie. They are the people that get the budgets in order, make sure that the budgets run. They do all the behind the scenes, like massive fucking paperwork and scheduling and making sure that everyone is there at the right time and you don't have conflicting people. So they have a massive job, but they're not really intimately involved in the physical making of the thing, right? They're involved with the sort of nitty-gritty shit so that the director can just make the thing, right? And the actors can act the thing. So from what it's my understanding, because this is from a secondhand source, but my understanding is that the producer, John Haidt, deals more with that shit, right? So he deals with bringing everything together at the end. Ian is the director. He's the guy that literally makes the game happen. He's Yoshi P in this, if you want to compare the two. And from my, it is from where I sit right now that I don't think Ian has his finger on the pulse.
Yoshi is producer and director. Back in 1.0, producer was one guy, director was another, the same guys that produced and directed FF11.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Personally, I think the producer and the director should be the same guy. But I also think, and this is not really a negative towards World of Warcraft, like I don't think this is a negative, but I do think it has negative consequences. I think Blizzard is too big. My genuine feeling, Blizzard is too big. They have, from where I sit at least, I think they've grown, not ego. I think Blizzard physically is too big. I think they have far too many developers working on the game, and it boils down to too many cooks in the kitchen. There are too many cooks in that kitchen to make anything fucking work. Multiple companies over the course of years have run into this exact same problem. There is a sort of I can't remember what it's called in English, but maybe someone in chat can tell me. So there's an efficiency coefficient. Maybe that's the right word, right? So let's say for every 10 developers that you employ, production goes up by 20%, right? But the efficiency coefficient is that when you reach 50, so when you have 50 developers, right, your production is now at 100%. So if you employ, say, 10 more, right, your production doesn't actually go over or doesn't actually go up by 10%. Now it only goes up by 5%, right? And then you employ 10 more and another 5%. And then eventually it gets to a point where you employ 10 people more and it actually goes down. So your production actually starts going down in relevancy because now there's too many people involved in the decision-making process. So things aren't streamlined. Things are going, it's way too big. And everything sort of gets lost in translation, right? Diminishing efficiency or return of investment. Yeah, something like that. Diminishing return of investment, I think is probably the right word, Tim. But yeah, it's sort of diminishing returns, right? But I know they don't call that in the business world. But it's sort of diminishing returns, right? And that is where I think Blizzard is going through right now. Blizzard has developing diminishing returns on their developer investment. They have so many developers, right? And remember, every developer has to have something to do, but every developer there's also a need to oversee every single one of those developers. Because you can't say I have 40 developers and they're all working on different things. For 40 developers, you need someone to oversee that those 40 developers are actually doing their job. And then you need someone who oversees the people who oversees the people who actually do their job. And then you need someone who actually oversees the people who oversees the people who oversees the people who actually do the job, right? So eventually you get to a point where you have so many people overseeing so many people who actually do the job that nothing actually fucking gets done. And the things that do get done oftentimes turn out extremely bland because there's too many cooks in the kitchen. There's people developing against one another. That one person comes up with this thing, another person comes up with this thing, and the two things conflict entirely. And you fall into the space eventually where people start developing things just for the sake of actually staying relevant, right? Because you don't want to lose your job. So now you start developing things just for the sake of developing something because you don't want to lose your job. Yeah? You start dreaming up systems that inflate with systems and interact with systems because if you don't have systems, you're not getting your fucking paycheck, right? And that, I think, is the issue within World of Warcraft right now. With productivity example, but I do think they would benefit from more developers. I don't think so. And here's why I don't think so. Final Fantasy has fewer developers than World of Warcraft does, and they push out more content than WoW. They literally don't have the budget. Yoshi P have spoken about how badly he wish he could have the budget that World of Warcraft does. He said in the past he wish he could have more developers on his team because he believes that he could make it work, right? He could do so many more things if he got more developers on his role. He doesn't have anywhere near the developers that Blizzard has, and they're bringing out far more content than what Blizzard is doing. When you drive by some road construction and there are 4 guys standing around watching one guy work, Cask, you use the perfect fucking example. Because I legitimately just yesterday, I was driving down to the shop after the stream, and there was sort of late night road development being done. They're fixing cables that's running under the road, so they're breaking open the road in the evening so that it doesn't restrict traffic during the day. And there's 2 guys, there's 4 guys, right? 2 standing on this side, 2 standing on this side, right? So they're standing on opposite ends and they're working on the middle here. on both sides, one guy is watching another guy use a stop sign, like a stop and go sign, just a sign that they have to turn around, right? So one side says go, the other side says stop. So they can control the traffic. If there's cars, they can say stop so that they can sort of open a space for them and then go. And there's two on both sides, right? Just sort of the one guy's just standing watching the other guy fucking twist his little thingy. And in the middle, where the guys are working, there's like three guys just sitting around and two guys just fucking chopping away. And it's like, well, there's at least 5 people too many on this fucking site, as I read it, right? You have about 5 people sitting around doing absolutely fuck all here. Can't read. What do you mean? What's going on? Let's give them credit. There were some nice fruit balls. Apocalypse, what's going on? What do you want to say? You think it will be fun? True. Special fruit balls? Oh, fuck this nonsense. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. For now, I'm sort of very excited to get into other games. I'm very excited for, I think, the future of the channel, but also the future of gaming, just in general. And then we'll see. Let's see what Balilur says here. Are you guys gonna play Balilur's new game? I will be playing the shit out of that game. It seems right up my alley, dude. This seems like my type of fucking game. So, yeah, I will be playing the shit out of that game. We will, from next week, we'll be playing Final Fantasy again non-fucking stop. I'm getting my RAM, hopefully Monday. So then I can get my PC back up and running. Because I need to format the entire fucking PC again. And then set up everything again. It's gonna be a fucking nightmare. But let's see what Balilur has to say here about the new expansion. Quick 9.2 impressions. New zone looks great. Let's just okay. Quick 9.2 impressions. New zone looks great. New raid looks cool. 2 times legendaries with progression and Zeroth Mortis, not Torghast plus class sets, will be very fun. As I've already said, this is sad to me. Arnold, by the way, thank you for the gifted sub. Did really appreciate that. Thank you, brother. I don't mind the fact that legendaries are being removed from Torghast. Good job, right? Soul Ash shouldn't be in Torghast. I mind the fact that Torghast is basically now going away. Fatigued by Shadowlands setting. Not much faith in storytelling. Class sets kind of look like leveling gear. I will admit. How many of you looked at the tier sets and found them adequate? Like, found yourself excited for the tier sets? Blue Fairy, how you doing? They look kind of shit. Like, let me show you guys. Because I'm not actually all that fucking excited for it. Where are your tier sets? So many new things. Where are your tier sets? It's not this one. Can someone give me the link to the fucking tier sets? It's just tier sets, no connection with classes. Gab, yes, but I mean, tier sets used to be class sets, right? Because every class has its own tier set bonus, if you will, right? So technically it is sort of class sets because, you know, every class is supposed to have their own tier set. King Julian, that's a fucking stupid argument. You got what you wanted, just move on. If I got what I wanted, I would be happy. I'm not happy. So I clearly didn't get what I want. Okay, here you go. Now, this, to me, I'm not sure why I should be excited for this. I'm genuinely not sure why I should be excited for this. Because it doesn't... I miss the days of gear being special, dude. I miss the days of gear actually looking good. Nothing about this seems great. King Julian, that's bullshit. Saying, oh, you should praise them when you get what you want, even if it isn't what you want, but at least it's somewhat what you want. It's in the same fucking street as what you want. So you should praise them, otherwise they won't be incentivized. No. They will not be incentivized to give me what I want if I just fucking praise them for things that I didn't ask for, but yet I got somewhat what I wanted. Yes, I got tier sets. Checked. I got it looking stupid as fuck. Check. So, of course, I can still complain about it. Of course I'm allowed to complain about it. Literally, that is the reason you are allowed to complain. When you get something that you want, but you don't get exactly what you want, you're allowed to complain about that.
Regarding systems, the tier sets currency in 9.2 reminds me of the raid currency system in FFX. So let's see if that will be.
I need to fix this right now. Fuck that. Need to fix this right now. Screw it. This is annoying as shit. And I need to see why it is fucking doing that. We have two things in here that could potentially start something like that. It would be in year, I think. Let's see. This is just images. There's no real... But this is also not the right one. What the fuck is this? Why is this running around here? Should I stream code? Should I go? Yeah, don't worry about that, bro. That's why. Because I wasn't on the wrong fucking profile. Bro. The plugin legend. Dude, I've got this. Don't you fucking worry about me. I've got shit. I've got it under control. Let's quickly see here. This one. This is the goal widget. But there doesn't seem to be any... Okay, there's no... So where the fuck is that coming from? What exactly is making that noise? We've got chat going, which is fine. Let's see here. Twitch Master chat. Twitch Master alert. Small cam screen share. No, let me try this again. Hold up.
Regarding systems, the tier sets currency in 9.2 reminds me of the raid currency system in FFX. So let's see if that will be implemented right. But
it's also in the wrong place.
Player, I was kinda puzzled by this 9.2 video, since they were giving details regarding the set, the people, the trajectory, the goals. Shouldn't we find that out in the game? You know, let the game explain that? That's surface stuff. A couple of quests can give you the broad idea of things. Why give that away?
Correct. You are absolutely correct. Sadly, I don't think that's ever gonna appear in Blizzard's thinking. I don't think Blizzard will ever think that way. I'll answer you now. Let me just quickly see. I think it's fixed for the most part, so we'll just leave it at that, right? We'll just leave it at that. I never said to praise Blizzard Aqua. All I said was acknowledge Blizz and give them credit when it's due. Otherwise, they will feel like, fuck it, we tried. King Julian, I've tried that. I've tried that. We've tried the whole, let's give them credit where credit is due, and they keep spitting it in our face. So, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't feel like giving them credit anymore. I feel like I'm over giving them credit, right? Anyways, so yeah, the tier sets, it's great that there is tier sets. It's not great that the tier sets don't look great. Where in the fuck did Michael's... I hate Twitter so much. I don't care about any of this shit. I'm gonna have to unfollow a bunch of people again because I'm getting political crap on my Twitter again that I don't fucking care for. Here we go. Alright, let's just click on this and have it there. Bro, can people who I follow stop liking political crap so that I don't have to fucking read political shit on my Twitter? That would be great. So, yeah, from a looks perspective, not the end of the world, but not great either, right? So, benefits from 915, no renown bar, extra soulbinds is great, as is Azim being built from the start without friendliness. We'll need to see what the cipher system is like, and if the world content is fun to engage in, unlike Orthia. True. Personally, I think the thing that bothers me most about the cipher system is, depending on how Blizzard implements the cipher system, I can very easily see the cipher system turn into the biggest time gate of them all, right? Where you can't actually continue with the story of Zereth Mortis until you're X number of research in, and that research takes weeks to actually get to that number before you can continue with the story, because they did say there's no extra renown. Instead, the cipher system is taking the place of the renown bar. So we could very easily see the story again be time gated to fuck on top of this sort of research system that you're thrown into, which I think is just, that's going to feel miserable. And my main reason for thinking it's going to feel miserable is not everyone cares about the rune system, right? Not everyone wants to decipher the runes. Not everyone is a fucking nerd like myself who, you know, really want to know what the language of the first ones is. There are some people who just don't give a fuck about that. And they're going to be forced to do this as well because the story is hidden behind these runes, right? The end result of the zone is hidden behind these runes, and they're sort of going to be forced to do it, which I hate, and again proves that Blizzard doesn't actually pay attention, but we'll have to see if that is how it plays out. For many, that'll mean a skip. For those who stay around, it'll probably mean WoW Shadowlands at its best, pumped with new content and mostly free of the frustrations. We'll see. We'll see. I think a lot of people are going to skip. At least in my community, I can see a shit ton of people skipping. I've heard from a lot of you that many of you are not really interested in playing right now. So I guess. You know. Wait, the video is at 50-50 dislikes, likes? If there was ever proof that the community is now divided as fuck on World of Warcraft, that would be it. Oh, holy fuck. Zuval, how you doing? Is this crypto channel? No, not really. It's whatever fucking channel we want to talk about. I'll say what's more sort of weird to me about all of this is only 500,000 views in the last day. Flav, how you doing, bro? That, I think, is a little bit strange. Only 500,000 views in the last day. 13,000 likes, 13,000 dislikes. That is, I think, telling. It's telling to me that there's so few people actually watching this video. I mean, this is the 9.2 release trailer, right? This is the moment that people have been waiting for. Especially after Shadowlands and how Shadowlands have been going, one would expect that there would be millions of people watching right now. Just sort of, you know, wanting to see, is it worth getting back into? The fact that there's only 500,000 people who watched it suggests to me that maybe there's not that many people who really give a fuck anymore. You know, and I'm not saying that World of Warcraft is always going to get hundreds of millions of views, because that's not actually the case, right? that isn't actually the case. We can actually look here. So many crap things that they upload. But let's quickly see what was their previous views like for some big announcement that was in the fucking MDI or the Arena Championships. Corthia preview only got 43. So I suppose actually that's not a bad thing. Never mind. This is actually good views. Considering the Corthia Chains of Domination preview only got 43k views, and Chains of Domination only got 375k views, I'm wrong, actually. It seems like 500,000 is the best Blizzard have had in a long-ass time. And still 13k likes, 13k dislikes. Meaning, at least, if we go by this, if we follow the logic of this, then at least 50% of the people who watch this video did not like this video. Calcor, how you doing? Thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yeah. Calcor, happy to have you here, bro. Very happy to have you here. I think at the end of the day, it's we'll see. Only gonna be people who liked it. True. That's why we screenshotted it now. Just to make sure that we never forget, right? In a year from now, I'll tweet out the screenshot and say never forget. I don't dislike, I don't often, like, it's very rare for me to hit the dislike button on a video. Very rare. Jamalman, not actually. Like, there are some, you're correct, there are some. But in a lot of cases, people hit the, like, here's the thing, yeah? The vast majority of people actually do not hit the like or the dislike button. Most people don't. The only people that ever truly hit those two buttons are people who are actually engaged in whatever they're watching. So in other words, either it's an incredible video that blows them the fuck away, right? Or it's such a bad video that they want other people to know how bad it is. That's literally the only thing, right? That's the only people who actually hit such a button. So even the people who just hit dislike for the sake of dislike, they hit dislike for a very good reason, yeah? Reason to prevent the huge dislike bomb, but it's dislike bombs are important. People don't just dislike bomb for no fucking reason. People dislike bomb for a reason. By the way, I fell asleep, Wolf. Thank you for the follow, dude. Love your name. How you doing, man? Only watch Akko on YouTube, so I never dislike. Nick, I'm happy to hear that. I'm very happy to hear that. I personally think YouTube removing the like dislike button is it's stupid. It's stupid. What? Okay, so removing the dislike ratio. Yeah, first and foremost, let's go through YouTube's logic. Yeah, YouTube says, yeah, they're removing the dislike ratio to protect smaller content creators. I told you guys last night, it very rarely happens to a small content creator that one of their videos gets dislike bombed. In fact, it almost never happens. In my entire career as a YouTuber, as a rather small YouTuber, I mean, I barely have 50,000 subscribers. I think if you put my two channels together, I have about 50,000 subscribers. I've never had a dislike bomb. Like, never. And I've done some very, very, shall we say, dangerous videos, right? It doesn't happen because most people aren't that involved in your content. The vast majority of people that don't agree with your video just clicks off the video and moves on, right? So the dislike ratio clearly doesn't have anything to do with smaller content creators. It has to do with the main channels, the big ones, the guys like Blizzard, the medical, the pharmaceutical companies. Those are the people that's being protected by this fucking change. Because those companies believe, and this is actually the sort of hubris of these companies. I can guarantee you right now, if you spoke to Ian and you asked him, hey, Ian, what do you think of your video getting 13,000 upvotes versus 13,000 downvotes? What do you think he would say? he would tell you it's just dislike bombed. It's people who just dislike for the sake of dislike. At no point, at 0 point, would Ian actually own it and say, well, I think we missed the mark a little. You see, so they want that removed because they think that's actually going to fix things. The truth is, you can still see it, by the way. As a content creator, I'll still be able to see how many dislikes my videos get. They just don't really care, right? Because as long as no one else can see it, it's fine. It's the equivalent of removing the sub numbers from being reported. I mean, there's nothing wrong with reporting your sub numbers, right? You should technically be able and allowed, and you should technically report your sub numbers. But by removing it, no one can point to you and say, oh my god, the game is bad, right? Because there's no one subbing. So you remove it. You make sure that no one even knows that it exists. So this is basically what it is. It's not for the smaller content creators. It's for massive companies like Blizzard Entertainment and the pharmaceutical companies and so forth, because they don't like their videos getting disliked. And then people seeing how much the videos have been disliked. Because here's the thing. When you're watching, let's say you watch a video about COVID, yeah? And I'm not going to make any statements here about COVID. I'm just using this as an example because it's the one that everyone would understand the best. Let's imagine you're watching a video about COVID, yeah? The video says things that you don't necessarily agree with, right? It either says that you should stay in your house for the next 4 years, or it says, hey, get out there and go live your life. It doesn't matter, yeah? You can disagree with either one of those statements, but the video says one of those statements, pick the one you disagree with, right? Now, you don't exactly know how you feel about that statement, right? You don't completely agree with it, but you also don't know if you should disagree with it. When you see the dislike ratio on the video and you see that the dislike ratio on the video is far higher than the like ratio, that might lead you to believe that, hey, I'm not alone in thinking this is bullshit, so I'm just going to go with it, yeah? Whereas if you can't see the dislike ratio, you're just automatically going to think the information within this video is good. Right? That's what you're automatically going to think. The information within this video is good. Is that a good thing? Should we just automatically think that all information is good? Is there a chance that there is going to be bad information out there? Personally, I think the dislike button does its job. It does what it needs to do. My personal opinion. Anyhow, people never lie, Echo. Joji, this is true. Hit the nail on the head with what he tweeted about it. Asmongold have some pretty based fucking opinions, so I agree with most of the things that Asmongold says. It's just like Twitter. Yeah, it's creating so many echo chambers, dude. I'm so sick and tired of the echo chambers. I got accused today, by the way, of living in an echo chamber. I'll show you guys this, just for shits and giggles. Where is this? Did this guy remove you? I'm gonna be so pissed if he removed these fucking thing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Alright, so I tweeted the following. Yeah? But the announcement was once again exactly, of course I spelled exactly wrong because why not? Exactly what Blizzard does best. Marketing material to get people to sub back. Only issue, it didn't really convince anyone. Now, who do you think I'm speaking about in this only issue it didn't really convince anyone? Who do you think I'm speaking about here? Yeah, many as one. I'm talking about those who quit, right? Because I actually say exactly what Blizzard does best, marketing material to get people to sub back, right? So I'm setting up the premise for my argument to sub back. Only issue it didn't really convince anyone. Daniel Cooper, in all of his fucking wisdom, comes out and says, you are absolutely entitled to your own opinion, and I respect your views. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that you're setting this up. I'm feeling a but coming, though, to negate everything else you just said. But you certainly don't speak for everyone. I never claimed to speak for everyone. The but is there. Nice job on basically removing everything you said before that. because I never actually spoke for everyone. I spoke for the people who is in my community who has unsubbed from the game. Some of us liked it and are looking forward to 9.2, but you'd have to leave your own Twitch, Twitter echo chambers to see that. Would you guys argue, and this is a genuine question, would you guys argue that I fall victim to an echo chamber? Starwood, thank you for following, dude. Really appreciate that. Anyone pertaining to subbing back. Anyone pertaining to subbing back. If I simply said anyone, that would be everyone in the fucking community, whether subbed or not subbed. I said sub back. Only issue, it didn't really convince anyone. The whole sentence needs to be taken into consideration. And for this, I am not wrong. I'm also not in an echo chamber. I have said on multiple occasions, I am well aware of people loving World of Warcraft. I even know why they like World of Warcraft still, right? I know. Because unlike most people, I don't put myself in an echo chamber. I listen to what other people say. I actually focus on the people who disagree with me. It's one of the reasons I don't just willy-nilly ban people on my YouTube. Because I could literally remove everyone who disagrees with me. I don't. Because I do actually think it's important as a content creator to hear what other people have to say. I could very easily tell my mods tomorrow, guys, from now on, if someone says something in Twitch that even fucking remotely disagrees with me, you kick that guy in the balls and you get them out of my fucking channel. I don't want to read that bullshit. I will never do that because that would make my stream extremely fucking boring. I want to disagree with people. I want people like King Julian here, who has a different opinion to what I have about the game. Because at the end of the day, if I just have people who hate the fucking game in my stream, I'm not going to know that there are reasons why people like the game. I don't have any reasons for liking the game right now, but I get that there's people who do, and that's perfectly fine. So I'm being accused of being in a Twitch Twitter echo chamber, even though I am definitely not. So I say, no need. I'm well aware there's some who still do it. I even know why they do it, but I don't much care, which is true. I don't care why you like it. I don't like it. So you can like it for whatever fucking reason you want. I don't. Only issue, it didn't really convince anyone. Yeah, but you're also ignoring, Daniel Cooper, everything else that I fucking said in the sentence. So that's me done with arguing. If you write something like this, right, our argument is over. You become content for me on Twitch. For future reference for anyone that is interested in having arguments with me. If you use fallacious arguments, right, against me, you become content on Twitch. Simple as that. And if the content is good enough, it goes to YouTube as well, so more people can see what a moron you are. I will not debate you in good faith if you can't come to me in good faith. If you use fallacious arguments to twist my words, then you've lost any and all respect. I will not debate you. Not on that issue. Maybe next week we can have a debate about something, but we're not having a debate about this. Because you couldn't even do the right thing and actually quote the whole fucking sentence, or at least the whole concept. You only quoted the part that made it possible for you to prove your fucking point. I never claimed to be speaking for everyone. Not once did I claim to speak for everyone. However, the sentence, taken out of context, does seem to show that I speak for everyone. I hate when people fucking do that. I despise when people do that. It's a quote ripped out of the middle of a tweet without context to look how he wants it to look. True. That's my problem with it. Let's set up some Final Fantasy and have some fun with the rather than keep talking about not liking WoW. Let's not allow Blizzard to make us wallow in negativity again. Cask, we will be playing Final Fantasy as soon as I have my RAM back. As soon as I can rebuild my PC. Right now, I don't even have Final Fantasy installed. Right? I had to uninstall fucking everything. So I have to install Final Fantasy again. But the problem is, as soon as I get my RAM back, I'm installing the RAM and then I'm doing a full reset of my PC again. And I'm reinstalling everything. Because I basically... So just to give you guys some insights into how far I went to try and fix my fucking PC, I formatted every single one of my hard drives. Every single one of them. Now, I tried to back up whatever could be backed up. So all of my important files are backed up. But all of the games, everything, I thought, fuck it. It's going to take me like maybe 3 hours to reinstall all of that shit. So I could just, I could just re-download the games. That's not the biggest issue. So I just formatted all of my drives. Because my drives kept fucking disappearing. So I kept thinking, well, something went wrong. Maybe there's some kind of bug. So just formatting it will remove the corrupted shit. So yeah, once I get my PC back on Monday, I'll do the full reset. Well, my RAM back on Monday, I'll do the full reset. I'll install Final Fantasy first thing so we can play Final Fantasy next week. There's good DM I sent you about the new low-profile cooler for your PC. I saw you sent me a DM, but I've not checked all my DMs. I've had so many fucking DMs. I wouldn't buy this. I would not buy this. How many of you would buy this? Zuval, how you doing? I want to make a public apology here to Zuval. Last night, Zuval sent me a Discord message with information about 9.2. I dismissed it right off the bat because I thought it was literally the cinematic that they were linking me. And I was right dick to Yuva. So Yuva, I do apologize because I literally said, why the fuck are you linking me what we're watching at the moment? And it wasn't actually what they were linking me. They were actually linking me proper information about fucking 9.2. So I do apologize sincerely, Yuval, for being a dick and for not actually paying attention to what you were linking me. So yes, I am very sorry. Noctua is one of the best coolers, you're correct, but I would not buy that fucking cooler even if you paid me. I would not buy that. I would not buy that cooler. Food stream then? It lacks a bit of mass. I prefer my current cooler, right? It's a Noctua Tower fan, right? So it's a fucking chunky boy, yeah? It's a chunky boy. What I don't like about it is the fact that it has to be removed every single time I want to do something on my PC. I can't reach any of my cables. Like, I can't reach my SSD cables, or my SATA cables, rather. I can't reach my 24-pin. I can't reach my 8 or my 4-pin for the motherboard, right? I can't reach my RAM at all, right? So every single time I want to do something on my PC, oh, and I can't remove my graphics card with the cooler inside of it because there's no space. You can't actually get down to the little latch to take it off. So everything I want to do on the PC, I have to go into the cooler, remove the fucking cooler so that I can get to the parts of the PC that I actually care about, that I want to change. So that's the only bad thing about it. It's great when it works. It sucks when it fucking doesn't. Cooler, the ultimate cock blocker. Truth. Were you saying how large yours is? And I saw that and I was like, oh, that's it. Where here's the exact opposite. The problem with this cooler is I'm pretty sure it would not cool shit. That's why I like water coolers. Kamajan, I wanted to buy a water cooler originally, but I was looking for Arctic Freeze, which is the best water coolers on the market, and they're not in South Africa. So there was no point for me to even go down that route. That's why I decided to just go for Noctua, because they are the best coolers on the market. So may as well just go for the best, right? Do you have that special water from 9Boo? You can walk on you can walk on it, you know? I know. BC, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. I should phone Blizzard and ask them if I could have some of that water for my PC. Because if it's different water, maybe it cools species like a motherfucker. You never know, right? He did say it's different, so maybe it's like really cooling water. Digit, how you doing, bro? Is that Sylvanas in that cinematic? That's what I want to know. It seems like it's Sylvanas, but it also doesn't. I know a lot of people keep telling me that it looks like Sylvanas. I don't think it looks like Sylvanas. It doesn't, to me at least, look like Sylvanas. It could be placeholder, right? So it could be placeholder. But if that's Sylvanas, then that's Sylvanas in fucking rags, bro. Like, that is Sylvanas in rags. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she lost all of her money or some shit. Because I think it's around 9 minutes something. Where is it? Oh, I can't remember. Somewhere here. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Because I don't know. I think Sylvanas. So they say this is Sylvanas. Does that look like Sylvanas to you guys? Placeholder? Maybe. Sylvanas? Actually Sylvanas? Not quite. It's also interesting to me that Jaina is large as fuck. Like, at what point did Jaina become a fucking giant? I thought Jaina was just a normal human being. I know she's not 100% like human, right? But she is human. Technically, she is human, and yet she is fucking tall. She's as big as Uther, and Uther is also supposed to just be human. We could see if I could zoom in. Let's quickly see if I can zoom in here. Come on, load, you fucking bastard. Why are you doing this to me? Here we go. So that's sort of the best I can do. That does not look like Sylvanas to me. Sophia, how you doing? That's why Sylvanas is small again. I mean, it looks like an elf. I'm gonna be honest, it looks like an elf. It looks like a dead elf, but an elf nonetheless. So yes, you could say technically Sylvanas is the dead elf. She looks like a dead elf. She might be an elf. Where's the blue eyes? Because that's just black as shit. Where's the tears that was burnt into her? I don't see that. I just see black eye makeup, right? Could actually be Xalatath. Xalatath looked very similar to that as well. And what's even more important to me is that how in the fuck is Jaina so much taller than Sylvanas? Her soul is whole again, Echo? Yes, but Kirill, would her soul being made whole turn her not into a banshee anymore? Just too low raise for detail? Nigga, that's true. As I said, it could be placeholder, right? So I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm not saying that it isn't Sylvanas. I'm saying it could be placeholder for Sylvanas. In other words, they haven't finished this yet. And so Sylvanas is going to be there, which would make sense that Sylvanas would be there, especially if she's going to help. Because for those of you who wanted Sylvanas to die, it's not going to happen. Denuser had made that decision on your behalf, right? Denuser have decided that you will forgive Sylvanas. Since Sylvanas is now better, it means Sylvanas no longer wants to look sexy. Oh, that would be so sad. That would be so... If this is the new Sylvanas look, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Oh my god, can you imagine Blizzard just going the complete opposite direction with Sylvanas? But yeah, I sort of, I don't know. it feels weird, bro. It feels fucking weird. Is this all? This is all human. Goblins and Draenei. Human. Night Elf. To get rid of sexy jokes, so... Truth. Austin, thank you for the follow, bro. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to everyone that's new to the stream. Very happy to have you people here. Blizzard fucking destroyed Sylvanas in this expansion. Pisses me off. Blizzard destroyed Sylvanas long before. I based it off the skin color and a stance. Looks like her. Most of what we saw was unfinished. What if they did that on purpose so we can't see her final form? That is a possibility, Zofia. They wanted to keep that a little bit of a mystery. So yeah, that's definitely possible. Saints by fruit? Greenbeard, how you doing, brother? Good question for you, Akalon. What do you think Sylvanas should look like with the armor likely being removed? Well, I don't think her armor should be removed. We've gotten so used to Sylvanas with her armor. I wouldn't want her armor to be removed. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really know what I would want her to look like. I do know that I'm not happy with the story that they're telling of her, right? Because first the loyalists got completely fucked. Dude, I was watching this the other day, right? Actually last night. Asmongold was watching this, so I was watching it. But look at this, right? Oh, fuck's sake. Just give me the WoW loyalist conclusion. Must I type it? Why would I care about any other fucking loyalist? Look at this, right? And now you tell me how this makes any sense. I would love to know this. Let me.
Love. Together we be strong.
I never doubted you for a moment. For the Horde! The Horde is nothing!
Bruh.
Bruh.
But when the time comes, there can be no hesitation.
There won't be. Safe journey, Nathanos.
Safe journey, my love.
I wasn't certain you made it out of Orgrimmar.
Alright. Pay attention
If the
here.
traitors knew of your service to me, they'd have put you in irons.
So here we're still in service to her. If the traitors knew of your service to me, they would have put you in irons. So here we are still very much in service to the Dark Lady. Yeah?
Or worse. Sarfang's ill-considered challenge may have ended the war prematurely, but it doesn't matter now. Countless souls have been fed to the hungering darkness. Though I cared nothing for the living, I did pity the Forsaken, for the great injustice that made them what they are. I understand the cruelty of fate better than anyone. But despite all I taught them, they stubbornly clung to hope, to life. They will learn the truth, along with all the rest.
Maybe. Still in 9.2. So far, we have not yet learned the truth, right? Maybe that's the next book. Maybe in the next book we learn the truth. Because so far, the truth is yet eluding me.
My bargain with Ajara will yet bear fruit. The armies of Azeroth will fight her master, and he will line their streets with corpses.
Now, here's where I wanna quickly drill down. I know that's not the purpose of this discussion, but I do want to drill down into this just a little bit. If Blizzard, right? If I am correct, and if Blizzard wanted to make Shadowlands make sense, as I explained to you guys in the beginning, this is how they do it. This is how they make Shadowlands make sense. I wanted to, as we're watching this, I realized this is the moment that I wanted to show you guys earlier when we were talking about this. We lost against N'Zoth. We lost that fight. As Sylvanas predicted, he will line their streets with our corpses, right? And he did exactly that. We lost. This is why we're in the Shadowlands. The Shadowlands think we're mortal because we're different because of our connection to Azeroth, but we're not. We are in fact dead. Rebema, thank you much for the follow. Really appreciate that. We are in fact dead. Zuval will reveal to us that we are dead, and the reason he is standing up now, the reason he needs to re-originate the universe, isn't in fact because of some great evil scheme. It is in fact because we lost against the Void. It makes Sargeras' deal with Zuval make sense. It makes everything make sense. Because Zuval needs to re-originate the universe. We've lost against the Void, and we have defeated all of the failsafes. Remember, the Titans had some failsafes in place, right? Algalon was a failsafe. It was in case we lost against the Void, he would re-originate Azeroth. But now that we've lost against the Void, and we have also defeated every single one of the failsafes, there's only one thing to do. The universe needs to be re-originated. Because the Void is now free to do basically whatever the hell they want to do. And it makes everything else slot into place. It makes sense why, right up until now, Zuval still doesn't feel like the enemy in World of Warcraft. It makes sense why Zuval still doesn't feel like the bad guy, because basically they're telling us he's the bad guy, but he doesn't feel like the bad guy. All of that makes sense if Zuval actually knows that we are dead. It even explains why Zuval looks at Anduin and goes, interesting, when Anduin uses a light, because technically Anduin is dead, right? Anduin is not supposed to have the light. Anduin died, N'Zoth killed him. N'Zoth killed us all. So all of it just starts making a hell of a lot more sense when this is the story. And again, I need to put this out there in case this makes it to YouTube. Asmongold needs to get... I know he's not actually a speculator, but Asmongold needs to get all of the credit for this theory. As I was watching him stream last night, he sort of talked about this exactly. And I was like, oh my fuck. That's exactly it. That's what's been missing here. This whole fucking... That's what's been missing from this entire story. Is the fact that Sylvanas said he will line their streets with our corpses. And it makes sense. Anyways, that's not the purpose of this video. Just wanted to stop here and sort of explain where that moment comes from. I want to show you a different part of the story.
In the end, he too will serve death. Enough reflection. There are preparations to be made. Nothing lasts. When next you see me, you will understand.
Where was this moment? This, by the way, this entire thing still shows that we are loyalists of Sylvanas. That loyalist campaign is completely disregarded at the end of BFA in favor of what? The player is simply told, well, fuck you. Go screw yourself. None of this matters. Yeah? You don't matter. None of it matters. We have a better story that we want to tell, and we think if we gave you that choice, you would ruin our story. Well, I have, at the time, many of the non-loyalists really rejoiced at the idea that, the loyalists now just get fucked. Well, now it's the loyalists' turn to rejoice. You guys are all getting fucked now. How does it feel? Because guess what? Guess what? Steve Denuser and his team have just decided that you will forgive Sylvanas for all of her sins. All of the Night Elves' lives that's been lost doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, they have a story to tell, and they're not going to let something like player agency get in their way. It's astounding to me that this is where we are, right? It's astounding to me that you can expect. Can I see how many people in chat are 100% against Sylvanas? How many people in chat want Sylvanas to die? Well, we could do a poll, actually, yeah. quickly do a poll here. Manage poll. There you go. View the results. Let's see. Get to voting, chat. Get to fucking voting. Some middle ground here? No. You have to choose one or the other. If you don't really care, you can just pick no. Right? If you don't... No, actually, if you don't... Pick whatever the fuck you want, dude. Even if it's like you don't actually care, but whatever. Just pick something, you know? Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, this is not scientific as fuck, right? All we're doing really is just trying to figure out where the audience lies. So there's bad news for about 45% of all of you. Steve Denuser and his team have decided that there should be given... Sylvanas should have the opportunity to redeem herself, and you don't get a say in that. Now, I want to ask you if that is how you tell a story, because it doesn't feel like that is how you tell a story. You know, it doesn't feel like that's the right way to tell a story, especially considering the fact that we are still technically loyalists of Sylvanas. In all technicality, the way the story plays out makes no sense. It feels, I'll tell you guys what it feels like. It feels as if Blizzard was going one way with the story. When all of this was happening, they had sort of this idea for what they wanted the story to be. But then, sort of halfway through, they changed their mind. And they went, no, we're going to go this way instead. Right? We're going to go this way instead. And all of the players are sort of going, it does not compute. Why are you going this way when it seems like you were going that way previously? So there's a lot of explanation that has to happen in this next expansion. A lot of fucking explanation that needs to happen in this next patch. And what's extra sad to me, perhaps the saddest part of this entire story to me, this is the end. Steve Denuser says it himself. It's the end of the first book of World of Warcraft. This is how the story ends. Almost 2 decades of hard work, sweat, and lore ends like this. Now, say whatever you want. Maybe you enjoyed Shadowlands, maybe you didn't, right? Do you think this is what the story deserved? Do you think this is what the story deserved? Almost 2 decades of story deserved this ending. Deserved Shadowlands as its end. I'm sorry, to me, it is incredibly disrespectful to the people that came before. It's incredibly disrespectful to the hard work of people who painstakingly built a world for all of us to enjoy. To see it end like this. To see Steve Denuser and Ian Azikostas rush the story to its completion because both of them are desperate to start telling their own stories. New stories that they themselves can buy into and love. To me, that just feels miserable. It just feels really bad. I don't care if she dies or lives, just need to have story that not broken with no sense. Nyquist, agreed. It's fine if she dies. I don't even, I love Sylvanas, and I'm a huge Sylvanas simp. 100%, right? I don't want Sylvanas to die. But at the same time, if you're gonna kill her, do it well, you know? Do it fucking well. Make sure that she dies with honor, and with dignity. The dignity that she deserves after so many years of being part of the story. Don't just change the story because, you know, it fits your new idea of what the story should become. That feels just a little bit terrible. I mean, I genuinely don't want to drill down on this too much because I know most of us are fucking over this and most of you that's here either still play WoW or maybe don't give a fuck about WoW anymore. You're just here because you really enjoy hanging out and shooting the shit, right? So I don't want to talk about negative stuff all the time. I'll just say, as sort of like a final, I guess, shot across the bow, if you will, yeah. The disrespect that Ian and the team have for the old guard, right? The way in which the old guard have been blamed for mistakes that the old guard clearly isn't really to be blamed for, right? And I'm not talking here about the lawsuits and shit. That's a whole different fucking real life. I'm talking about the game, right? Ian, in an interview, legitimately said that the lessons that they have learned from their teachers were the wrong lessons. You know? Clearly their teachers were wrong, and the game have changed, and they have to design the game better for a modern day audience. And I looked at what he said, and I thought to myself, because he was using this exactly in relation to covenants, right? The fact that people would be forced into a covenant choice. And he said, you know, I was taught by my mentors that meaningful choice in RPG is important. And I sat there and I thought, when did your mentors teach you this? Because they've never implemented it in World of Warcraft. Classic didn't have this. TBC didn't have this. Wrath didn't have this. Cataclysm didn't have this. Mists of Pandaria didn't have this. So when exactly did your fucking mentors teach you this? So where's this teaching coming from? Like, you say this is the lessons they've taught you, but surely if these are the lessons they've taught you, then we would have seen these lessons present themselves in the previous game. But they didn't present themselves in the previous game, so where the fuck did you get these lessons from? No, man, I don't think you paid attention when they were teaching you. I think that's the problem. You were sitting in your fucking room, right, looking out the window, and they gave you the test, and you went, oh, wait, I was in class? Which in the beginning, you could have had, you couldn't have an alliance and all on the same server. Alex, true, but I mean, that was a whole different discussion, right? You could just go to a different server to start a different character. Like, that was a class choice, right? Which to me does not translate to similar as covenants, right? I don't see the class choice as a similar choice to covenant choice. At least not from the gate, not from a philosophical standpoint. I don't think they're the same. You could probably try and twist it, yeah, to such an extent that it makes sense. But if you're talking about reputations, those reputations rarely, if ever, had any real tie to player power, right? So, for example, in TBC, you could choose Aldor or Scryer. In terms of player power, the Aldor or the Scryer made little difference in terms of your power level. They were basically aesthetic choices that you made with some really cool story implications that, again, could have gone further but didn't go as far as it should have. But they didn't really limit the power that you had overall, right? And the same could be said for choosing Horde or Alliance. It didn't limit your power, right? It was a different aesthetic choice. Aesthetically, it made things differently, right? So, yeah. Alex, as a crafter, sure, but you could still buy those items on the auction house, right? So there were still ways to get around it. There were ways to get around a choice that you made. And, yeah, look, were there things in TBC's Aldor Scryer that could have been done better? Of course, right? You live and you learn. But thinking that Aldor or Scryer is at the same level as Covenants is not true, right? Covenants are far more egregious, and they directly impact the player power, so it doesn't actually result in player choice. Darlon, thank you much for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. They don't result in player. That's the point that I'm trying to make here. Is for Aldor or Scryer, you made very serious choices, yeah? And it was a choice, because you would be equally as strong regardless of which side you chose, but you would miss out on some things that you would have on the other side, depending on the side that you chose. Yeah? So it was choice, but the choice was never, if I choose wrong, I'm fucked. Right? Or I'm going to go through a lot of work in order to redo this choice. Whereas Covenants was a far too heavy a choice to actually lock people into it. But either way, you know, we could argue about this. My point was, the blame is being shifted constantly, and all I can think of is they clearly don't... Ian clearly doesn't believe that he is doing anything wrong. And the same goes for Steve Denuser. They don't believe that they are making mistakes. They believe that it's everyone else's fault. Like, whatever goes wrong in WoW is not actually their fault. It's someone else's fault. You know, it's the previous writer's faults, or it's the previous developer's fault. It's always someone else's fault. And the truth is, you have to accept some responsibility, you know? You have to accept some responsibility, because if you're not respecting, or if you're not accepting responsibility, then I think you're wasting your time, you know? I think you're wasting your time, because you're never going to get better. If you don't accept responsibility, you will never get better. You will never fix who you are, right? At least I think so. Alex, was one of the clips that you rushed, wasn't that the semi-rush? No, you rushed the semi-rush. Love that. Thank you. Really appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I did write semi-rush, meaning prioritize it over other videos, but you don't have to do it fucking immediately. Still appreciate you doing it immediately, but yeah, I put semi-rush there just to kind of say, so what I was thinking at the time was rush it, but insofar as when you pick up the next batch, just make sure that one is in the next batch. Mistakes means you got to accept you made your meaningful choice wrong. Monkey Baba, I guess. Look, the thing is, right? Everyone is going to make mistakes. Is there anyone in this chat that can truly say that they've never made a mistake? The answer is no. Yeah? We all make mistakes all the time. I fuck up quite often. I say the wrong thing. I oftentimes get my facts wrong. It happens, right? Last night, Caladril, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Last night, Zuval, in all goodness, shared a source with me of information. I took one look at the source, decided in my own head that this is exactly what we're doing anyway, so why the fuck are they sharing it? And I was a dick to them, right? Today I apologized. As soon as Zuval logged on, I said I'm sorry. Why? Because now I learn, right? Because no one likes to say sorry, right? It makes you feel stupid. You're sitting in front of 100+ people and you have to apologize for being a dick, right? It's much more fun to just be a fucking dick, right? And never apologize for it. But the fact that I had to apologize means that now in the future, when someone shares something with me, I might actually click on it first and see what it is that they've shared to make sure that what they've shared isn't, in fact, something new that I need to know about. If I don't apologize, if you don't apologize when you're wrong, you might never actually learn that you are wrong, right? Or why you were wrong. And that is my biggest issue with Ian and his team. They refuse to learn. They refuse to take responsibility for the mistakes. They're be humble. Hospital is supposed to shit on you if you're demonstrating humanity. I mean, I don't know. Is it my job to make sure that Blizzard can shit on me? I don't want to do that. Yeah, this is right. No. I think I already have this one. Hold up, Alex. Let me just look. If it's a hard dick, you can slap people down with it. Wait, who? Why are we talking about dicks now? Don't get me wrong, like the conversation. I just want to know how we got there. Talking about sex is always more fun than talking about WoW. Always. Without fucking fail. Black Helmet, how you doing, bro? We are talking about hard dicks being slapped down or some shit, and I really want to know how we got on that topic. This video I have. Okay, I have this video. Wait, what did I just fucking download? I downloaded that video. That was the wrong video to fucking download. Jesus fucking Christ. Hold up. Chat, I'm not entirely sure what I'm downloading here. I am high as shit right now, it feels like. So I have Rush, Clips, Am I Wasting My Time? Rush, Clips, Am I Wasting My Time? I have Semi-Rush, that's in a different folder, because that's for the main channel. This is for the main channel, so this goes to the main channel. Thumbnails, that goes there. Where the fuck is the Honest Thoughts video? Alex, am I high? Because I'm not seeing the Honest Thoughts video. I see the Honest Thoughts thumbnail, but I don't see the Honest Thoughts video. Oh shit. I didn't see you say that. Account is downloading porn while streaming again? No, I'm downloading fucking content. I'm downloading content, bro. I would never download porn. You do know the internet is full of free porn, right? If you're downloading porn, you're wasting your fucking bandwidth. Like, in the time that it takes you to download one porn movie, I could probably fucking watch 5. So why are you downloading porn? It makes no sense. 4 minutes. Well, Google have been saying that this for like 10 minutes. Streaming would be the safer choice. You always stream porn. Always. Fucking content. Sounds like porn to me. Sounds right. How you doing, bro? My mom always said, why download porn when you can stream it? Wait, your mom said that? That's some next level fucking parenting right there. Love that. No, midget porn would be Alpocalypse, not me. Thing when it's free elsewhere? Truth. To save in case internet goes out? I mean, look, if you can't wait for the internet to come back up before you fucking, before you wank, then you have a problem. Like, if you have to download porn in case the internet goes down so that you can still fucking pleasure yourself, you've got a fucking problem. Like, that's just too much. You should be able to give it an hour, right? You should be able to go, the internet's down now. It should be back in about an hour. I'll go grab a cup of coffee, relax a little bit, and then I'll be back. Like, I'll make love to myself in about an hour. Remember, that's why we talk about this. Okay, how many people are actually following No Nut November before you wank over it? We all have phones, right? Watching porn on your phone is such a fucking caveman thing, dude. It's so caveman. I don't know why people would do that. Why would you watch porn on a small screen? You have a schedule to keep. No. Excuse me, Mr. Secretary. You cannot have my meeting at 3 o'clock. That's my wank time. Can we do it at 3:15? Man, if you schedule your fucking wank sessions, that is the end. Like, that is how I know you have a fucking problem. You have a schedule where you go 6 a.m., wank. 6:15, coffee. 6:30, breakfast. 7:30, or 7, work. 7:30, meeting. 8:30, or 8:30, yeah, wank. 8:45, meeting again. If you have a schedule on which you wank, you have a fucking problem. You should not have to fucking schedule that shit. That wakes up the wank and coffee though. I'm gonna spring in your step. Jeez. I didn't have time for hand shandy. That's my phone's getting bigger. Avalanche, it's the stream. It's just how it goes, bro. Look, if you are a well-behaved, intelligent human being, this stream is not for you. Every single person in this stream is a degenerate fuckwit, and we have no shame in admitting to that. So what I expected was hopping in. Santorial, how could you not expect this? The stream should be top on Twitch. Oh, we would get banned so quick. Can you imagine if this stream was fucking top on Twitch, how quickly we'd be banned? It would be instant, because then we would be reported by just everyone. It's good that we're flying under the radar, because no one can report us. What videos am I uploading now? I'm guessing this one? I should download this one, sure. Okay. I'll grab this, no. This one, yes, I'll grab that one. Turn into Zen. Okay, I've got that video, Alex. I've got it. Got that video. So these videos can be uploaded. I can't remember if I actually downloaded the Honest Thoughts. I think I did, but maybe I didn't. So we'll download it anyways. Now for the clips. Clips, I need... I think that video... Do I have any other clips that I have to upload? Oh, fuck, I can't remember. I had to leave early-ish yesterday. Did you see all the extra interviews? I did see the interviews, yes. We covered it, sort of. We spoke about it, yes. It should be up on YouTube probably within, like, I think we've... If I haven't shared it with Alex yet, I will soon. I feel like making my own game because I've had WoWers right now. Dude, my dream is to make my own game. What do you think about this? It suggested that from the way the dev talked, that the water from Zereth Mortis is linked possibly to the primal water from the cosmology chart. Remember there was an interview with the Newser where basically he talked about the primal elements? It's possible, right? That's entirely possible. Akno, I would say there's definitely something special about the water because they highlighted it, right? The way they highlighted it, though, was funny as shit. Because basically the dude came out and said, we have water. It's very different. You can walk on it. Which I burst out laughing. Like when he fucking said that, that was the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. You can walk on it. Because I just saw, like, all I saw was a shaman and a DK standing next to each other. Their mouths sort of falling open and they're just like, are we a joke to you? Like, who the fuck are we? Like, we can walk on water too. So why is this different? You know, so it was just sort of funny, a funny mental image that I had in my mind as he said that. But clearly, there's some import to that. Like, it is important, right? Alex, do we have the... I'm trying to think, where's that Final Fantasy video? Did I download that one? Oh, I have this one. Where the fuck? Here we go. Okay, never mind. I've got it. I've got all of it. All right, never mind, Alex. I'm bothering you with bullshit. I know exactly what I need to do. I need more clips, by the way, Alex. This is the last batch of, like, this is the last clip that I have. All my clips are done now. Vikers, thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Kind of sad they're bringing the JLo and first ones into in this patch and not build it up to an epic background story that builds up to something better than what they gave us this expansion. Vikers, it's because they're finishing the story. It's because they're finishing the story. Blizzard is finishing. So basically, this is the culmination of the last 15 years of storyline, right? The last 15 years of storyline, it's all ending here. The next expansion is basically the start of a brand new story for World of Warcraft and for Blizzard Entertainment, right? They want to start with a new story that has nothing to do with the old story, sort of a full reset, if you will, of the story at least. So I'm right there with you, by the way. I don't agree with it at all, but that's why they have to finish with the Jailer in this expansion, because they don't want the Jailer flowing into next expansion or the expansions after that, because they have new storylines lined up for those. Just happy I can make chat and Akko laugh. Found Akko a few weeks ago and knew he was a streamer that I need to watch. Always hilarious in here. Fucking DJs. Hey, if you guys enjoy the streams where we're basically just shooting the shit, that makes my life so much easier. You guys have no idea. When I can just sit here and basically do fuck all, just chat to you guys and you still enjoy it, that's easy money. Oh, Zofia, yes. I don't think the story should have ended. I think they're making a massive mistake with ending the story, because I'm sort of worried about the Noozer's ability to tell a new story, because this time he'd have no one to help him, right? He doesn't have Mason to fall back on. It's now just him. Who the Red Soul was that took out the Arbiter? Probably Arcus? No, we still don't know. What we know, right, is that we know that it's basically, it's been confirmed that Denathrius had something to do with it, right? So whatever took her down, it was Denathrius, right? He did something, yeah? If you listen to the sounds, it sounds very much like Ramonia. At least just from sound alone, it sounds like Ramonia. But it does not, there's been no confirmation on any of that. I think we need to give up on ever knowing, if that's going to happen. I think they've just sort of forgotten about that story. The same way they've forgotten about the Arthur storyline. I think they've just given up on all of that. But what was the base for me? Did any of you buy this? I would genuinely like to know. From the beginning, the plan was to only have a 9.2 patch. Like, they planned this. According to them, according to the video we saw last night, this was part of the plan. There would always only have been a 9.2 patch. Rizzler, how you doing, bro? It feels like... It really feels fucking terrible, right? That they sit there and they try to sell this bullshit. Like, oh, it's not that we're behind schedule or that we fucked up our entire schedule. No. Planned, right? Nailed it. And the player is sort of going, did you really? Really? It doesn't mean that there isn't a 9.3. There might be a 9.3. It's just going to be different, right? They're going to go a different route with this 9.3. They're basically going to turn 9.3 into what the 0.0 patches used to be. Which, by the way, isn't a bad thing. I'm not actually saying that is a bad thing. I've actually always been a very big fan of that, yeah? I'm actually a very big fan of that. Because I've always said their 0.0 patches don't spend nearly enough time introducing the new expansion. I would love if they would spend more time, more patch time, on telling the next story that leads into the next expansion. So you really get people hyped for what the next expansion is going to be, because they were already playing the stories of the next expansion. So I don't think it's a bad thing that 9.3 might happen and might be something completely different into a different storyline. That's good. I just don't like the fact that they told us that this was always part of the plan, because I doubt that it has always been part of the plan. What did Taliesin and Evital tweet this morning? Did you see Tali and Evital tweet this morning about how this isn't actually wrapping up stories from Warcraft 3? No, I don't. Taliesin is muted on my Twitter. I can't. I can't see that guy's tweets. Like, no hate towards the guy, but he annoys the living fuck out of me. So in order to not start a fucking Twitter war, I have him muted. So you'd have to tell me what he said about it. this many bigger cliffhangers, and this could be a great time to do it. Hype for the next X-Pack. In this X-Pack, it would be fucking amazing. Yes. It would be amazing. I don't want to start a Twitter war with anyone. I don't, like I said, I have no hate in my heart towards Taliesin whatsoever. I think he is a phenomenal content creator. I think he knows what he's doing. He's clearly funny. People love listening to him. No reason for me to hate on the guy whatsoever. And I also don't care, right? I don't care to start any shit with the guy. I'm not really one of those people I don't badmouth people. I don't sit here, like, I'll say stuff in the heat of the moment, right? In the heat of the moment, I'll say, yeah, he's a fucking moron or whatever. And yeah, sometimes I'll get really fucking angry and emotional, and I'll be like, yeah, that guy needs to be fired. Fuck him. But generally, I feel very bad after stuff like that, right? I genuinely feel like I feel bad after I do something like that, because you shouldn't, right? You shouldn't attack people, and you shouldn't have to. So, ordinarily speaking, I'll voice my opinion on someone. So I'll say I don't like them, or I don't like their opinions most of the time, because I actually think meeting someone like Taliesin would be good fun. I think he would be a good guy to hang out with. He sounds like a very friendly guy. He sounds like a decent guy, right? But his opinions, I don't like. I find them to be just underdeveloped and uneducated. So can't listen to that. Well, fuck you. Hey, welcome to the stream, Christ. Happy to have you here, brother. Let's do this. Zuval Quanker. I don't judge people on their politics either, because people are allowed to be wrong. I don't. If I were to judge people on their politics, I would have no friends, bro. Your politics don't fucking bother me one bit. That you can believe whatever the fuck you want, because you're most likely wrong, and that's okay. Did you catch what I said about the writing? I did not, Entorta. Could you repeat that, please? Kush Fairy, how you doing, brother? King Julian, what's up? We feel bad afterwards saying that to people. Who, why say it to them in the first place? Because, like I said, I get emotional. I get angry. And when I get worked up, I don't think about what I'm saying. And also, I will never take back what I said, right? If I've said it, and I meant it. I feel bad for saying it, right? Because just because I mean it doesn't mean I should say it, right? Sometimes you should go inside voice. Just keep that inside. But I've never said anything that I don't mean. Ever. I will never say anything that I do not believe to be the truth. I just sometimes feel sorry for actually saying what I said. But yeah, I've never pretended not to be an emotional guy. I get emotional, I get carried away, and I say things that I shouldn't say. It's why streaming is so dangerous, but also so fun. Because you never know when I'm going to fucking lose my mind and say some really stupid shit. Mike Marks, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. On the politics, I never talk politics to people. I fell out with people in the past because they couldn't get me to believe what they believe. I mean, look, my political stance is that there should be no politics. Down with all presidents, down with all governments. Very few people agree with that statement. So, if you're wrong, you're wrong. Nothing I say can change your mind. So, that's life. Some of you might have caught what I just did there. One time I told someone close to me, when are you going to find a place to live? The most nice way you can ask it, but sometimes get the fuck out doesn't pass whatever you ask. True. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. Well, let's live with that. I extremely agree. Locality, and decentralize. Spelled wrong 99%. Novak, yeah. I'm huge on the decentralized thing. All power should be decentralized. You guys are fucking distracting me again. I'm supposed to be writing a description. Can you stop distracting me with interesting conversation? Talk about WoW so I can do my job. Was that Azerite in the base screenshot of the jailer? We think so. At least we argue that it might have been Azeroth. Oh, Azerite, right? There we have it again. A wild echo in its normal habitat, working intensely. Yeah, I feel like I work all the fucking time, dude. I genuinely sometimes look at it, look at my life and go, I don't really take breaks. Like, what the fuck? Most people go on holiday. I don't know how you do it. I genuinely cannot imagine. I couldn't stream for about a week and a half, yeah? And I felt so fucking guilty. Like, I could not imagine doing that for 2 or 3 weeks. Like, how do you just sit at home and do nothing? How would you? How would you? Because I'm a Capri Sun. Isn't Capri Sun a drink? That used to be like a fruit juice drink in South Africa. As far as the writing team goes, if you write 4 books of a 6-part series, explain the last 2 to me as best you can, and then disappear, odds are my version of the last 2 isn't going to match what your version would have been, which will make the last 2 seem off to anyone going from the first 4 to the last 2. I think that might be what have happened. Oh, I 100% agree with you, bro. 100% agree with you. I remember Capri Sun. Like when I was a kid, like everyone wanted a Capri Sun in their lunchbox. Like, it was so cool if you had a Capri Sun for lunch. But yeah, I am a Capricorn. True. The story 15 years in the making, starting from Warcraft coming to an end and essentially a restarting from scratch and telling a new story. Does that mean we could get a Warcraft 4? No. No, I highly doubt that Blizzard would ever do a Warcraft 4, mainly because there's no money in RTS, right? Blizzard have said this in the past as well. There's no money in RTS. So Activision Blizzard does not want $1 million industries, right? Bobby Kotick isn't interested in a $1 million franchise. He wants a $1 billion franchise. So every game that Activision Blizzard pushes has to be a $1 billion franchise. It needs to be able to bring in potentially billions of dollars. So RTS will almost never be a $1 billion industry. It's sort of fallen out of favor with most people, even though I'm one of the few people that still love RTS. The vast majority of people, it's fallen out of favor with the PC crowd. And so there's not much you can do, right? Sadly, to get Blizzard into it, they don't seem to see any point in RTS, which is so fucking sad to me. Yeah, my dogs are losing their shit downstairs, and because I have the door open, you guys are hearing all of it. I do apologize for that. Age of Empires 4 seems to make noise. Dog stream. The doggos are outside at the moment. Oh, I know what's going on. Never fucking mind. I know exactly what's going on here. My brother is playing with them. Like, they're playing fetch, I think. And that's what's going on here. Because that's the only time that dog barks as much, is when he's fucking playing fetch. For some reason, he thinks the ball is another animal that should be killed. To add skins in RTS to profit from it? Oh my god, please no. Don't give Blizzard ideas on how to fucking make more profit. I would be bro, I get so fucking annoyed when I think about all the bad shit that Blizzard is doing to that company. Like Activision Blizzard, actually. Because I don't know if it's just Blizzard, right? To some extent, might be. This is a Jack Russell. He has the most annoying bark ever. The most annoying bark. Because it's really fucking loud. Like, really loud and high pitch. Which, you know, not great. I have a Jack Russell and a Labrador. And loads of energy. Yeah, well, he's actually, I have to admit, he's less energetic than the Labrador. So the Labrador is 8 years old already and still acts like a kid, right? He's never grown up. Like usually labs sort of calm down eventually, right? And he doesn't calm down. He fucking hasn't calmed down one bit. It's insane, yeah. But it's almost as if they've swapped, because the Jack Russell, on the other hand, he is happy to just lie down, chill in one spot, no fucking issues. No issues. He'll just lie there the whole day. You do that to the lab and he loses his shit. Like, he gets really fucking bored with just lying down, you know? I had a min pin, loudest high-pitched bark ever. What the fuck is a min pin? That's so loud. I hate when they bark. I'm sorry, but it's the most shrill sound ever is when they fucking bark. Mini pincher. I don't know what that is. I don't know what a mini pincher is. I'll post pics of your dogs on Discord. I'd have to go downstairs and take pictures of the dogs. Do you want me to go downstairs and take a picture of the dogs? So I can show you. Because I don't have pictures of my dogs. All right, I'll go downstairs. I'll take some pictures. I'll be right back. It's going to be fucking hard because they're playing right now. So getting an actual picture is going to be almost impossible. All right. Theomi, how you doing, bro? Sorry, guys. Brother just told me about the houses in Cape Town. One of the estate agents wants us to sign for the house before we've even had a chance to see the house. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to post it in media. That way you should all be able to see it. There you go. And then I'll show you on stream as well, for those of you that don't have Discord. I don't know why you wouldn't have Discord. Here you go. Those are the pooches. And that little fuck is the one that makes all the noise. That little cunt right there is the one that makes all the fucking noise. Droopy Turtle, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This one's Volley. And this one's Timo. But yeah, you can see they because my brother is standing behind me with a bowl, right? They will not look at me. They will not fucking look at me. They will not take their eyes off of that bowl for as long as he's standing there. I could call them, and I did. I tried to call them. They will not fucking look at me. They're just fixated on this bowl. If that ball goes anywhere, they're going. To develop the ball right on top of your phone? No. No. That ball's dirty as shit, bro. I don't want that ball anywhere near me. Alright, uploading 2 more videos and then I'm done. Then I'm done, chat. No. Yes. Done. Take great pics as a photographer? Yeah, but I'm not a photographer. I don't even do great streams. Why the fuck would I try to do great pics? Oh yeah, CCS, no. I told my brother just now. We're not signing shit. She shows us the property. Like, do a walkthrough. Like, we can't step into the property. Because I'm not flying up to Cape Town to go check houses and then, you know, fly back. No. But what I want at least is her to do a WhatsApp video call and show me the fucking house, right? I want to see the house on a walkthrough. Because from there, it's not a problem, right? In the contract, they have to state everything that's wrong with the house. If there's anything wrong with the house that isn't in the contract, I can immediately null and void the contract, right? I can immediately say, no, I'm sorry. You lied. This is done. Daedric, the topic for today's stream is... what is the topic for today's stream? Sketchy as fuck that she wants the signature first? Yeah. I mean, so this lady sort of did everything wrong as far as I'm concerned. She did everything wrong. When we expressed interest in the house, she immediately took the house down from advertisement. Like, she just removed the house from advertisement. She was like, I'm not going to advertise it anymore because you guys want the house. And we were like, no, well, we want to apply for the house, but, you know, we don't necessarily, like, we don't know if we want the house yet, right? And then, of course, we found that other house that's by the lake, the one that you guys saw that I really want. We have an application form into that house now, so we're sort of hoping that that house comes back to us and says, hey, you got the fucking house. Because if that house comes back to us saying you got the house, I'm paying the deposit tonight. Like, I want that house. The house by the lake looks fantastic. So I'm sort of just going to wait now. I told my brother to just say no. We want to see, we first want to see the house, and then we'll make a decision on whether or not we're signing. And then hopefully before that, how do I open chat on PC? Twitch? Pikurku, why is your chat? What? Prize by the water. Oh, yeah. Feel me? Oh, fucking yeah. The house by the lake is... God, it's so beautiful. Have all of you seen the house by the lake? How many of you haven't seen the house by the lake? Because that house is fucking fantastic. Not yet. Let me show you this house. Because this house is... It's surreal, dude. And for the price, for the fucking price of the house, dude, it's absolutely surreal. Just scanning. Right now, let's look for the fucking house. Where did I share this house? Yeah, it's this one. All right, so first and foremost, this house, yeah? The house that you see there, that's 15,000 Rand a month. How much is 15,000 Rand to dollar? So 15,000, That's $983 a month, right? This house that I'm about to show you, $983 a month. 3-bedroom house. This is the yard of the house, right? Look at that fucking, look at the lake, bro. It's on the fucking water, dude. It looks big enough, right? The rooms look pretty decent. They don't look overly small. I like the fact that there is security fencing in front of the windows. Look at that. Look at those views, bro. It does have good internet. Yes. It has great internet. Not his fault if something startled him. Wait, what happened, Blue Fairy? There you go. So this is the house. I believe it's either this one or I think it's this one. Well, no, I think it's that one, sorry. I think it's this one. But the house has its own private Yeti. So that you can have a boat and go out on the fucking water on your boat. Which is just surreal, dude. And for $900 fucking dollars a month, right? For $900 a month, this is what you get. How could you not want this? Yeah. Personally, I would fucking love this house. This house is everything, bro. Grandorius, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. I'd be happy with this house. It's 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom house, and the floor area is 95 square meters. The land area is 1,300 square meters. Boats and hose? Oh, yeah. Oh, fucking yeah. 3 bedrooms, yes. It's a 3-bedroom house. Where are dogs going to go? So there's a yard on the side there with a gate that goes all the way, wraps around the front. So until the doggos are used to the lake, we'll just keep them there, and then we'll keep bringing them out to the backyard to get used to the lake, to get used to the water. Both of them can swim, right? So if they do fall in, they can just get out. But at the same time, you know, you don't want to end up with your dogs fucking floating in the lake because they fell in and they couldn't get out again, or they didn't know where to get out. So we'll probably take some time and sort of teach them. Right? No, as far as I know, there's no crocodiles here, Theomy. I'm not entirely sure if this lake connects to the ocean. That I don't know. I have no idea. I should actually... Hold up. Let's look for pictures of False Bay, Cape Town. Images. Right. So I can't really make out. I'm trying to see now. It's False Bay, Cape Town. So this is basically what False Bay looks like. This is False Bay, this entire area here. And I believe this is the peninsula area. We're on the peninsula of False Bay. So it's in Cape Town, but it's I don't know, it's fucking weird. So I'm not sure if that lake, if the lake actually connects to the ocean. This would be a picture, I think, a better picture of False Bay. Mine more, I'm not sure why they called it False Bay. I'm genuinely not sure why they called it False Bay. Maybe they had their reasons. But you guys are getting snow? Fuck me, man. We never get snow. Never. False Bay instead of the real one? I don't know. There's no real bay. Like, there is no real bay. Oh my god, look at that. Would I shit myself if I came face to face with this little fucker in the ocean? This is one of the reasons I refuse to go in the ocean, by the way. Because those fucks live in it. And I refuse to go anywhere near it. I'm trying to see if there's a picture. This is Peninsula False Bay. So let's say Peninsula False Bay, Cape Town. Yeah, I have no idea. Is this all the shit that is in here? Dolphins, whales, sharks. See, I don't know where False Bay... I don't know where on this entire thing we are in False Bay. I don't know where we are on this entire thing. Yeah, there's there's a lot of shit in here. I've swam in the sea once and I'll never swim in it again. All I could think about was what the hell was underneath me. Yup. I'm not sure where this fucking house is even. I wonder if I could... I wonder if I could actually see where it is. Like, do they have a street view? Probably not, do they? They have a video here. Want to see the video of False Bay? I don't know if that song is copyrighted, so let's just look. So this is the video of False Bay. Pretty fucking nice, though. Jesus. It's actually kind of huge. Because I think all of these are sort of one thing at the end of the day. They all runs along False Bay, and it's sort of just towns 100% on top of one another, right? Because you can see next to the coast here, you see all the houses just running along the coast. So it's basically all of these little towns are now effectively connected to one another. Old churches and shit. I love the old buildings, dude. I really fucking like the old building style. The beaches. I like this. This is really fucking... I'm gonna live there, fuckers. I'm gonna fucking live there. I like it. I like it. It looks fucking gorgeous. Definitely gonna be worth moving there. I can't wait, dude. I am so fucking excited. Oh yeah. I am so excited. And I'm gonna do videos on all of it, by the way. I'll probably next week or so go down to there's a camera shop, an outdoor camera focus place just near me. I'll go there to buy batteries as well as SD cards for GoPro. So I'm gonna be GoProing, like I'm gonna be documenting the entire move down South Africa to Cape Town, right? Let me see if I can show you how far it is. So let's make this bigger. Here we go. Can you guys see this? I can't really zoom in more. I don't know. Can you see what's going on this map, or is it too small? All right. So I am currently, as things stands, I'm here, right, on this little star over here, Pretoria. Yeah. I am going here to this star in Cape Town. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can get there. One of the ways is to drive just straight with the N1, which will basically take you through this region of the country here, right? Just going straight to Cape Town. Or you could sort of take what they call the scenic route. Yeah? You could take the scenic route, which kind of takes you this way. So you sort of go... Because these places, this is like the Northern Cape is over here. These are places that no one ever goes to. Like, most of these places have very few people living in it. Like, their populations are extremely low. They're very much backwater towns. This area here, very much backwater town. So people go through here. My father and and my stepmom just went through this area here all the way to Cape Town. So you sort of go, and we're probably going to take this route as well, all the way to Cape Town. And I'm going to record all of it. So there'll be probably a lot of videos on Patreon for that. Like, patrons will get like shit tons of videos recording all the different towns and stuff. And then on YouTube, there'll be videos for like just the highlights, the cool stuff that happened and so forth. But yeah, really, you could probably also take this route, but that would be a fucking long ass route. If you're going to go straight to like Durban, and then from Durban, you're going to drive all along the coast, right, to Cape Town. But that would take you, that's probably going to take a fucking long time to drive. Yeah, I hope so, right? Which would do what? I really hope so. I hope that I'm going to enjoy it there. But yeah, the drive itself is about 2 days. It's about a 24-hour drive, right? From where I am now to Cape Town. But that's why you said 2 days, because no one's going to drive 24 hours at one, like in one stretch rather. So it's a South Africa's big, right? It's not actually as small as people think. It's not as big as the US, but it's still not small. So yeah, you're gonna drive for fucking quite a bit. But yeah, there's like I'm looking forward to it. With the way your luck has been lately, Akalon, take the direct route. Trust me on this, Mr. Smokin'. No, it's an adventure. You know, things go wrong in life. You can either fight against it or you can just see it as an adventure, which is what I'm choosing to do. Africa as a whole is stupidly fucking big, yes. My friend's parents actually went on a trip. They drove into Africa, so they drove like just to like the middle of Africa, right? And I asked them, how long would it take you to drive the whole of Africa, like from South Africa all the way up to the top most northern part of Africa? And I think it's something like a 4-month trip that you have to take. Because some of the areas don't have roads, right? So you're going to have to fucking 4x4 that shit. But yeah, that's like a massive trip. Let's just say it this way. According to them, you wouldn't be able to do it on a single set of tires. So you'll probably change tires multiple times on that trip. Nine more, yeah, it is a fucking trick, right? It is a trick. You really have to be committed to go to the other side of Africa if you're gonna try and do that, I suppose. But yeah, and the ocean's drained off you. Okay, is chat still fucking talking about whether or not it's a lake? What in the fuck? Today I learned that Lesotho is surrounded by South Africa. Oh, Gelly, you didn't know that? Yeah, South Africa has 2 countries actually. That is sort of part of it, right? Or that it's surrounded by, rather. But Lesotho is, yes, it's a country on its own. It exists on its own. No, so I think it's a lake, trying to explain that due to how water works, all lakes connect to the oceans, but do they? Fire Bronze, how you doing, brother? I'm pretty sure there are lakes that isn't connected to the water. Unless you're starting to shoehorn shit in like the ocean evaporating water and fucking taking it to the ocean by rain. Then sure. But I'm pretty sure there are lakes that isn't connected to the ocean. I'm pretty sure, fucker, there's lakes in my town that isn't connected to the fucking ocean. I don't agree at all. I'm gonna fucking Google this now. Are all lakes connected to the ocean? Lakes lie on land and are not part of the ocean. Although, like the much larger oceans, they form part of Earth's water cycle. Lakes can be contrasted with rivers or streams, which are usually flowing in a channel on land. Most lakes are fed and drained by rivers and streams. So, no. According to Google, lakes are not part of the ocean, nor are they connected to the ocean. Not all of them have to be. You have open and closed lakes. What does that mean? Open and closed lakes refer to major subdivisions of lakes, bodies of water surrounded by land. Isoric. Or open lakes drain into a river, and other body of water that ultimately drains into the ocean. Aha. Aha. Rivers and streams. But you do get closed lakes. Lakes that is not connected to the sea because they're not connected to any rivers or streams. It says it right here. You have closed lakes. In a closed lake, no water flows out, and water which is not evaporated will remain in a closed lake indefinitely. This means that closed lakes are usually saline. Though this salinity varies greatly from around 3 parts per thousand for most of the Caspian Sea to as much as 400 parts per thousand for the Dead Sea. Only the less salty closed lakes are able to sustain life, and it is completely different from that in rivers and freshwater open lakes. Closed lakes typically form in areas where evaporation is greater than rainfall, although most closed lakes actually obtain their water from a region with much higher precipitation than the area around the lake itself, which is often a depression of some sort. The level of most closed lakes is unstable because runoff into the lake is lessened. The water balance of a closed lake is altered and the amount of the water in the lake falls. So you do actually get such a thing as a closed lake that isn't connected to the ocean. So I ask again, are all lakes as it is in fact connected to the ocean? And the answer would be no. So, it is time now for some people in chat to show some humility. Now it's not lakes, so go fuck yourselves. Oh no, that's not a lake, you fucking asshole. It can only be a lake if it drains into the ocean, and therefore it must be all lakes are connected to the ocean. And Jesus, talk about fucking changing arguments on the fly. Oh my god. Oh my god. Nope, this argument does not suit my needs. I will change it. No, chat. This is not how it works. This is not how it works. We weren't talking about closed lakes. Never. Lakes are subdivided into open lakes and closed lakes. You can't say, no, but fuck you, dude. I was only talking about open lakes. Not once in this chat did I see anyone make any mention of an open or a closed lake. People were only mentioning lakes, and there are 2 types of lakes. There is the closed lake, and then there is the open lake. So lakes, as it were, in a general sense, aren't all connected to the ocean. Apocalypse, you know that's not the correct argument. Andy, I did not see it, therefore it doesn't count. Vamala, how you doing, bro? Jumbo, how you doing? Make lakes so complicated? I have no idea. I have no idea. But it started as it always starts in this chat, with one person saying one thing and chat then starting to communicate and debate with one another whether or not the thing that they're saying is actually true. I need to be honest, when it comes to geography and wherever the fuck you would learn about lakes, I also have very little clue. Very little clue. Like, people always make jokes about the Americans who don't know where certain countries are on the map. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know where most countries are on the map. Like, you showed me a map and I would not be able to pinpoint most countries on it. It's the internet. Nothing is true. To be honest, almost all Americans. England is just London. Yeah, but England is just London. Let's be real. England is just London. And Europe is one country. Right, Europeans? It's all just one country. It's not different countries. It's the same country. Bella, don't lie. We all know that if you're European, you are European. There's no difference between someone from Denmark and someone from Sweden, or someone from Germany and someone from France or from Poland. They're all the same, right? It's the same country, 100%. You guys just pretend to be different, right? Because you want that tourism. Because someone can't just go to Europe. No. If you go to Europe, you have to go to Germany and then to France. You're just doing it for the tourism. But ultimately, when you boil it down to the truth, Europe is just one country. It's the same thing. Geography, so long as your country has oil in it. Yeah, you can't ask an American to pinpoint a country on the map that doesn't have oil. If it has oil, you can bet your ass the Americans knows exactly where that fucking country is. Actually, nothing. Coming from a European, you know how false this is. Bjorn said, yes, I am being extremely sarcastic. Just to be clear. To those of you that don't catch the sarcasm, I am being very sarcastic. People remain people, but there's a lot of difference, either cultural, architectural, sometimes moral too. You did get baited. They're not alone. There was actually quite a few people who got debated into me thinking I'm being honest about that. Same with Brits, except for us, it's tea instead of oil. Wait, do Brits really care about countries that have tea? Not even then. They did an experiment during the Iraq War and few people could find Iraq on the map. That's because the people who needed to know where Iraq was knew where Iraq was, right? We do have a central sense of where tea is. Oh my god. Yeah, you Brits are weird. The fact that you guys favor tea over coffee makes me not trust you. Oh my god, can I type? New developer inside launch for World of Warcraft Challenge patch 9.2. And I have some thoughts on Eternity's End. Alright. Boiling Leaf should tell you all you need to know about them. And I bet it was 50-50 regarding tea and coffee drinking in the UK. You think so? Okay, so this is obviously very sort of anecdotal, right? I realize that. And I realize anecdote doesn't really mean anything. But in all fairness and in all honesty, almost every single English-speaking person I meet, right, is 100% tea drinking. I meet very few English people that actually drink coffee. Whereas Americans, different. South Africans, different. You ask a South African, what do you drink? Coffee. You ask an American, what do they drink? 95% of the time, they drink coffee. When you ask an English person what they drink, most English people I know don't like coffee. In fact, they prefer tea. They don't even like coffee. I definitely prefer coffee, 100%. coffee is by far the better drink. It's superior in every single way. New Food Magazine? What is this, Alex? Coffee consumption in the UK. All right. Let's see here. Gimoka Coffee UK has pulled together some stats about the world's most popular beverage to produce an infographic on coffee consumption in the UK. With over 400 billion cups consumed every year, coffee is by far the most popular drink in the world. Yeah! On average, Britons consume only 1.7 kilograms of coffee per year, one of the lowest amounts in Europe. As example, in 2013, Britain spent £730 million on coffee. Top 5 coffee-consuming countries per capita is Finland, 9.6 kilograms, Norway, 7.2 kilograms, Netherlands, 6.7 kilograms, Slovenia, 6.1, and Austria, 5.5. Gimoka has found that people in the UK drink 70 million cups of coffee per day, compared to 165 million cups of tea. Jesus. Average British male coffee drinkers drink 13 cups per week, while average British female coffee drinkers drink 11. In 2012, the UK market for coffee at home was worth more than £1 billion annually, and it continues to grow. When buying coffee for drinking at home, 77% of Brits buy instant coffee. Good people. Comparison, Italy 1%, France 4%, USA 7%. I don't get why you guys are so fucking hyped up on the special coffees. Like, fuck special coffee, dude. Just drink coffee. It tastes the same. When it's instant coffee, it tastes exactly the same as any other type of fucking coffee you can drink. In 2014, 5.06 million people in UK used at least 4 cups of instant coffee per day, while 2.81 million people used instant latte. That's quite interesting. I do prefer instant coffee. 100% prefer instant coffee. The problem with all sort of special types of coffee is that it's oftentimes too strong, or just, it doesn't, I don't know, doesn't taste as good. It's too strong, or oftentimes the taste is just overwhelming. Like, it's too much of a weird taste. I don't like special coffees like that. I don't like special brews and sort of fucking around with the beans. No. Just 1 teaspoon of instant coffee, boom. You're good to go, right? You drink that special coffee, and also it takes so much longer to make, dude. Like, bro, if I need coffee, I need it now. I don't want to stand there for 10 minutes and brew a fucking cup of coffee. Just throw it in the fucking cup and drink. Bam. When you brew it, your house smells so good. Hey, when I make my coffee, my house smells so good. Do instant coffee, because sometimes I will only drink 1 or 2 cups a day. So it's just more cost efficient. Not the same. It is the same. 100% it is the same. 10 minutes, heat water, steep coffee for 4 minutes and profit. Yeah, but 10 minutes is longer than my 2 minutes. Boil water, coffee in cup, water in cup, boom. You've got your coffee. Oh, and milk. Don't forget the milk. Do you guys drink... Okay, new fucking poll time. All right, here we go. New poll time. Read carefully, chat. Read fucking carefully. Creamer in this one counts the same as milk. We're going to say creamer and milk, same thing. Just, do you put stuff into your fucking coffee is basically what we're boiling it down to. Mighty Ranadin, that's not what we're trying to figure out. We're not trying to figure out. We'll do that. That's the next poll. Once we have the results of this poll, the next poll will be, do you drink coffee, tea, or neither? Right? So, yeah, we'll do that as the next poll. Shit, I'm looking for a good title for this video. By the way, Wins, thank you for the 2-1 sub, dude. Really appreciate you, motherfucker. Thank you so much for giving you money, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What do you think of this title, chat? I'm not sure I'm convinced that this is a good title. What's the results? With milk and sugar. You fuckheads. Why are you drinking it with sugar? I'm in this one. I'm in this, the one with milk, no sugar. Yeah, I can't do sugar. Sugar is disgusting. Milk, amazing. Sugar just makes the coffee too sweet and weird. The taste of coffee gets vulgar to me if it's sweet. I don't want sweet coffee. I want that bitterness of the coffee. No taste buds, and it's concerning me. Too many thin, skimmed sweet boys in here. And also, none of this fucking skimmed milk or 50-50. No, full cream, bro. Full cream. I don't drink anything that isn't full cream. All the way up to 1,000% cocoa chocolate. 100%, sorry. 1,000%, Jesus. There's more cocoa that can physically be in there. I don't like the title of the vid, but I don't have anything better. What do I call this video? So this video is literally talking about the conditioning that WoW players have been through and why they don't like Final Fantasy because of how they've been conditioned to basically play the game for endgame. What title could I have that? Could I have there? You think that's a good title, Andy? I think I have a better one. Very clickbait. Very fucking clickbait. What do you think of that one? That's okay. If we trigger people, so what? Let them be triggered. People are triggered anyways. You should see what happens when I upload a video about World of Warcraft. Instantly people unsub. So I don't really care if people get triggered. Let them fucking be triggered. Kotaku title validated. I like that. As to why you'll hate Final Fantasy 14. Waxney, how you doing? No, we need the ultimate clickbait, people. How Blizzard is controlling your mind. That would be the ultimate fucking clickbait. Jesus. Like that would be the ultimate fucking clickbait. People getting triggered is great clickbait because it's not clickbait. And they will force themselves to see the entire vid. Truth. The only way we know. Maxine, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. But that would be the ultimate clickbait. How Blizzard is controlling your mind. Oh my god. What made you not like Final Fantasy 14? We'll do it this way. Whoa, Wins, you beautiful motherfucker. Tucker. In here with 10 community subs, dude. Really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some love in chat for wins, for redistributing that wealth and making me rich? Thank you, thank you, thank you, brother. You think you want choice, but you really don't? Conditioned you to hate... Blizzard have conditioned you to hate Final Fantasy XIV. That's actually a nice one too. Fuck. Chat, why are you coming up with better ones whenever I have one? Let's stick with this one for now. I might change it later if the video doesn't do well. We might fuck around a bit with it to see... You've tried Final Fantasy XIV and you didn't like it. The fault lies with how you have been conditioned to play MMOs. I think that's good, right? Brock, go for clickbait. Fumble Jerry, thank you for the frocks and sub, dude. Really appreciate that. 2 months in a row, you beautiful bastard. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much to everyone that's giving me your money. I will use it wisely, I promise. Let's go get fucked tonight. What do you say? No, we'll get ourselves some hookers and some booze and cocaine. And we'll go fucking ape shit. Didn't like it. And not because I wasn't in the end game. Not like Final Fantasy XIV and real coffee. Jesus. I rushed to level cap in my first time playing Final Fantasy. Big mistake. Dizak, yes. It is a massive mistake. I luckily stopped before I got past like the beginnings of Heaven's Ward. I realized then that I'd made a massive fucking mistake. I think I conditioned myself not to like Final Fantasy as an MMO player. Tend to close their minds to anything else since you have to invest so much time in the same MMO to achieve anything relevant. Now I love Final Fantasy XIV though. It took me years to really want to give it a try. I'm the same in that regard. I am the same. It took me a very long time to actually buy into it. Is the thumbnail good though? Do we think we can do a better thumbnail? What do you guys think of the thumbnail? I don't necessarily like the thumbnail. It seems... Like, if you compare it to this thumbnail, right? Like, this, I thought... This was one of my favorite thumbnails you've made so far. This one. This was, like, one of the best thumbnails we've made so far. This one just doesn't look... Just doesn't look as good. Doesn't... I don't know if it's going to entice me to click, you know? What do you guys think? Alex, I know. That's why I'm running with stream through it, because I can't think of which words to put into the thumbnail. Hopefully someone in stream has an idea. The video is about why people stop playing Final Fantasy and then dislike it. And oftentimes it's because of how they've been conditioned by World of Warcraft. Full wasted, thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. By World of Warcraft to rush to the end game, right? That's what the video is about. They're conditioned to rush to the end game because, hey, you know, that's how you play MMOs, right? The haters will click on it due to the thumbnail. probably. But Phil, I don't want just the haters to click on it, right? Just have Ian's face with no and Endwalker as a background. Phil, happy to have you here, bro. Always been anti-rushing. I have a thumbnail of Ian with the hypno swirly eyes. Oh, I have it. Chat's giving me a good idea here. Have a background of Final Fantasy, right? This background is fine, but I would actually go for a background, Alex, where you sort of have a black line through the middle here, right? On this side, actually on this side, right? You have a picture of Ian with those hypnotic swirly eyes, exactly like that, right? With the words coming out of his mouth, no, or don't play, sorry. The words coming out of his mouth, don't play. And on this side, you have a picture of Final Fantasy characters having fun. Like Lalafell's, maybe a cat girl or two, jumping up and down in Final Fantasy, right? So on the one side, you have Ian going, don't play. And on the other side, you have people actually having fun, right? I think that could be really cool. What do you think, chat? Ian eats them, Jesus. Hypnotoad's eyes with Hypnolon. I think that could look really awesome. That could be a really cool thumbnail. Because then the thumbnail tells a story as well, right? Which is something we have to focus on more with thumbnails, is the thumbnail. Like, I've done a little bit of research on this, not a lot, obviously, but thumbnails that tell a story. So just looking at the thumbnail, you sort of have an idea of what you're going to get into, or a vague idea of what you're going to get into, does really well, especially for gaming content for some reason. In most other industries, you want to be as vague as humanly possible. But it seems like in gaming, if people don't at least have some idea of what they're getting into, they just don't want to get into it, you know? They just have no interest in getting into it. But I'm having trouble going back as there's no gear progression and raid progression like TBC has for me. Edrigo, what do you mean there's no gear progression? There's new gear every patch. And raid progression is pretty, like, huge. I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Because from what I understand from people who do hardcore raiding, they really fucking love their hardcore raiding. Thumbnail just makes it seem like you don't like Endwalker, the expansion itself. And I agree, which is why we're changing it now. And we'll see what Alex comes up with next. Fears the shunning of Blizz of old developers. If you're stuck in, say, Stormblood, just tokens. Why are you stuck in Stormblood, Etrika? Oh, Odo, how you doing, bro? Yeah, I think he died yesterday. The Clark. Yeah, I think he died yesterday. I mean, I didn't know him. Oh, I didn't know him, so no great waste there. Full wasted. Thank you for the tier 1 stuff, dude. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the degenerate fucking chat, dude. Really appreciate it. Beware. Keep your hands and feet inside the cart at all times, except when you choose not to. Have fun all times, except when you choose not to. Basically, what I'm trying to say, Phil, is welcome and do whatever the fuck you want. I hope you're going to enjoy it here. Edrica, I still don't know why you would be stuck in Stormblood. And by the way, the tokens thing is actually far superior to how they do it in World of Warcraft. Because with the tokens, you get to choose and target the gear that you want. And you're also sort of, you're not taking into account that once you get to max level, they have these weapons. I believe in Shadowbringers, it's something called Weapons of Light or some shit like that. Right? Which are like these weapons that take an incredible amount of grind to actually unlock. Right? So relic weapons. Yeah. You can put a shit ton of effort into getting your relic weapons, which looks insane, right? they're not that much more powerful than the normal weapons. So from what I've been told, the difference will be rather minor between those who have relic weapons and those who don't. But the relic weapons just look insane. So people spend someone told me in some it's some crazy amount of hours to actually unlock your relic weapons. I was a little too RNG at times when it comes to gearing, both retail and classic. Jurgen, I absolutely agree with you. It's far too much RNG, and it ends up making people feel like they're wasting their time, you know? Was stuck in Stormblood as well because of gear. I have no idea how you managed to do that to yourself. You need to buy some gear from a vendor. Oh yeah, you could just buy gear from the vendor, right? 10 times for his? Jesus. Actually, why did you give up on relics? Final Fantasy Wolf on the WoW? Philip, yes. Here's the thing, yeah? When you play Final Fantasy, you realize what WoW could have been. Because Final Fantasy, in many ways, is the evolution of World of Warcraft following the events of Cataclysm. Yeah? So, after Cataclysm, Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft made different decisions that took their games in very different directions. Because when you play Final Fantasy, it becomes very clear that it is, in very many ways, very closely related to World of Warcraft, right? Very closely related. A lot of the systems remind you of things that you did back in the day with Wrath, that you did back in the day with TBC, that you did back in the day with Cataclysm. A lot of the systems is very reminiscent of those days. With differences, they feel fresh and new, but you get the sense that you can see where the inspiration came from. But they went in two very different directions. World of Warcraft they sort of drilled down on this hardcore RNG raiding PvP heavy game, right? Where there's very little casual content, very little MMO in the game, and a lot of menu clicking in the game, right? A lot of the game is literally just you signing up for different things that you can do. Very little things in the open world, very little content outside of raiding, dungeons, and the rest of it. Also, World of Warcraft decided to go for a more fractured approach, right? Where every single expansion was almost treated like its own game. Because if you think about World of Warcraft leading up to Wrath, the games, the expansions were following on top of each other, right? You could not have TBC without Classic, and you could not have Wrath without TBC. They followed on top of one another. The story made sense. Then in Cataclysm, Blizzard sort of blew up the first three expansions. They just sort of said, fuck the first three expansions. But then after Cataclysm, Blizzard sort of decided to blow up all of their subsequent expansions. Like, just every single expansion blew up or blown up for the next expansion to work. Whereas Final Fantasy decided on a more clear-cut goal. I almost get the idea, if I were to theorize on what the development process for World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy looked like. Imagine two developers, right? Sitting in a room, one designing World of Warcraft, the other one designing Final Fantasy. The guy that designs Final Fantasy sits with a giant notepad and basically writes out the philosophy that needs to dictate the choices for every single expansion from this moment forward. So he decides, philosophically, this is what every class will play as. Philosophically, this is what our game will be. Philosophically, this is what dungeons will be. So there's a philosophy that's decided upon. And from that moment forward, every decision that is made within the game is weighed against the philosophy. Right? So, we want to add this new ability. What does that ability do to our ultimate philosophy? So let's say, for example, they wanted to add an ability to a black mage that the black mage could cast while moving, right? And it was one of their big abilities. They would weigh that against the philosophy that they have for black mages going into the game, and they would say, we can't do that because black mages is all about knowing the fight, knowing when they can cast what, knowing when to move, knowing when not to move, knowing when to move at the exact right time. It's part of what makes the black mage a black mage. So we can't give them an ability that they can use on the move, right? Not a big ability that they can use on the move. Now, translate that to the guy making World of Warcraft. He basically sits there and he looks at the next expansion. He says, right, we're going to go for mob. So what is the philosophy that I want for Mist of Pandaria? And then he decides on a philosophy for every single class for Mist of Pandaria. When Warlords of Draenor comes around, he decides on the philosophy for Warlords of Draenor, throwing away the page about the philosophy in Mist of Pandaria, right? It's done, it's over. We no longer care about that. We're now looking at Warlords of Draenor. Then at the end of Warlords of Draenor, they rip out the page for Warlords of Draenor, throw that away, and now they're looking at Legion, right? What's the philosophy for Legion? So in other words, you don't have a clear-cut philosophy from start to finish for the whole of the game. Instead, you end up with a game that's sort of fragmented, with every expansion having its own philosophy, and there's no continuancy. Like, there's no contingency within the game. The game just doesn't feel like it's a continuation of anything else. That would be the major difference between Final Fantasy and World of Warcraft. Final Fantasy seemed to stick very clearly and closely to a fundamental philosophy that was decided upon the day Yoshi P took over. And he does not deviate from that philosophy. That is the philosophy that they're going with. It doesn't mean that there aren't clear changes, and it genuinely does mean, it is the case that for players who, like most people told me, the way your class plays in Heavensward feels completely different to the way your class plays in Stormblood. And the way your class plays in Stormblood is going to feel completely different to how it plays in Shadowbringers. It's the same abilities, and it's the same rotation. Like, everything is still the same. But when they add new abilities in a new expansion, it changes the class, right? To what they want the class to feel like in that expansion. But it still holds dear and close to the original philosophy of the class. So they're not reworking the classes every single fucking expansion for the rule of cool, basically. Yeah? Just bought it. Gonna give it a whirl. The closest class to Warlock would be Summoner. Summoner would be the closest class. If I can give you one piece of advice, Philip, watch my video on it. I'm literally waiting for Alex to finish the thumbnail for it, and then actually we have the thumbnail. All right, chat, we have the thumbnail. Tell me what you guys think. Number one. Oh, come on, load, you motherfucker. Why are you taking so long to load? There we go. Number two. And number three. Which one do you guys think? Three. Most of us agree on three. I like three the most as well. So we have 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 is the best. I think 3 is the best. The furry pandering? It's not furries, it's just catgirls. They're just sexy, bro. Stop the fucking hate on the catgirls, you motherfucker. You're just a hater, bro. You're just a hater because you don't have a catgirl. If you were playing Final Fantasy, you'd have your own catgirl and you wouldn't have to hate. Of any add-ons for Final Fantasy except ACT, which is your DPS meter. I never post the DPS, so tell people their DPS is bad because you will get reported. Yes, please do not. There are add-ons. There's actually quite a few. There's an Alv UI for Final Fantasy to change your UI if you want to. Although people say that they might actually ban that, right? Because apparently it gives far more information than what needs to be given and what is allowed to be given. But there is an Alpha UI for Final Fantasy. There's sort of add-ons that makes the world look better. So add-ons that change the color and stuff, and sort of makes the world pop a little bit more for you. That you can also download 100%. And then there's the DPS meters, right? But be very careful when it comes to DPS meters, because DPS meters will get you banned. They will 100% get you banned. So instead of you're saying, instead of these eyes, Alex should use this picture instead. It looks like he's about to hit you with the boy. Well, I made... no. This is not bad. This is not bad. Alex, do you think you can recreate this and make it look better? It's not good either. You don't think so? You guys don't think this is good? It doesn't pop. What's it missing then? You can improve, but it will lose the charm. A smaller hypno eyes. So people still like this. You just maybe want the hypno eyes to be a little bit smaller. It misses cat goals and bunny goals, of course. But is that Mike in the back? Eating fruits and cat versus cat goals? Oh, that would be funny as shit. But no, that's not what this video is about. Put fruit eyes, yes. Oh, that would be... Yes! Oh, that's perfect. Put fruit eyes on Ian's eyes, right? On Ian's eyes, just put 2 strawberries. Like, or bananas or some shit. That is fucking perfect. Even though the video isn't about that, right? The video isn't about the fruits again, but it does show the conditioning, right? Where Blizzard is completely wrong, conditioning people to like different things, and Final Fantasy is just going and having fun. Character's legs with bananas. Use the pic of him from the recent video where the camera is on his chin. Oh, you could probably use that picture too, but that is perfect. That is perfect. Some fruit eyes for Ian. That is exactly what we need to see now. Oh, fuck, chat. You're getting me in trouble. I can already tell. I'm gonna lose so many subscribers. No, my fucking liquid is finished. Jesus. I have to go before 7. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got like 10 minutes left to hang out. And then I have to fucking go. I don't have any more vaping liquid and the place closes at 7. I'm just waiting for Alex to finish this video. Finish this thumbnail. Because now I want that thumbnail. I need that thumbnail. Without that thumbnail, my life will not be complete. Rip stream, vaping fluid is an empty. Yeah, I need to go buy vaping fluid. Why so many ads? What the fuck are you doing? Who needs that many ads in a single fucking video? Oh my Jesus, that's a lot of fucking ads. YouTube. By the way, this is what YouTube thinks you guys need to see. You're seeing that, right? YouTube believes that you guys like watching more ads than video. YouTube thinks this is the right way to do things. I could delete that ad and that ad. And this ad will almost never show anyways. It's so rare that you get so many ads in a fucking video anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I get why YouTube is doing it. They're doing it because they think there's not... They know there's not enough ads, really. Sharon, I'm with you. because it only shows the ads when there is actually ads to show, right? It doesn't show every single ad, but at the same time, it's sort of weird that they would, because for some people that many ads will show up, and that would be a miserable experience. Even though the money would be great. That many ads? Fuck, I could probably make easy $20, $30 for 1,000 views. I have YouTube Premium. Yeah, I have YouTube Premium as well. Yes. I like this one. I like this one. I think this one is perfect. Alex, good fucking job, bro. Yes. This one is everything. No, I think bananas would be too much. Like, then you're starting to turn Ian into a fruit bowl. Like, that would be too much, maybe. But that is exactly what I fucking want. That is a good thumbnail. Of course, people are going to be angry. There's going to be so many people pissed off. So many people pissed off by this. And now we have to go Final Fantasy 14 Act 1. Versus World of Warcraft. Do it the other way around, I suppose, is fine too. Alright, that should be fine. Fuck it, I don't want to do anymore. I hate those bloody titles. Oh, thumbnail. What are they called again? Tags. By the way, you know what the cipher of the first ones reminds me of? Remember in Legion, in the class halls, those upgrades, perks, and pieces NPC? Oh, yeah, you're right. You are right, yes. Theory, I do pay him. I do pay Alex. It's why he's doing it. Like, it's why he's hanging out in the stream, working, as the rest of us are chatting away. No, definitely not enough. I should pay him far more. But, no money. No money. Life's hard, bro. No, we're working towards it. We'll get there. One day. One day we'll get there. We'll get there. Working as fucking hard as possible, dude, to try and grow and do something with my life, you know? Not just be a bum. It's, that's it. Fuck it. I don't care about anything else there. Have you moved to FF content full time? I'm probably not gonna move full time. I want to do more than just. I want to do more than just Final Fantasy. I want to do many games, right? I want to do much games, much games. I don't want to do just Final Fantasy. That'd be boring as shit. I'm never gonna fall into I'm never gonna fall into that trap again of just doing one fucking game. I think that just ends up hurting you in the overall. You want to focus on multiple games, right? You want to focus on building an audience that likes multiple things at the same time, so that when Blizzard fucks up and basically ruins 2 expansions in a row, you're not the one standing there with your dick in your hand, not sure what content to make for your audience. Moving into Simon Whistler of Games Territory. Georgie, the thing is, in my private life, I'm not a one-game Andy, right? The issue is just I built my entire channel on just one channel, on just one game. So now I'm sort of forced to sort of change that, you know? Should I make this Final Fantasy video live today or tomorrow? I think we'll do tomorrow. Yeah, let's do tomorrow. It's already past the sort of peak time for videos. Think today, Alex. We've just made the Honest Thoughts video, so it's going to be 2 hours from now. We're going to have to make the video live 2 hours from now, which will be 8:30.
You look like you've lost some weight.
Well, we can't do that. Fine. Fine, I'll fucking do it.
What do you think happens to Veneri in 9.2? In 9.2 we will study the cipher of the first ones, but isn't Veneri a researcher of the ciphers? Why will we learn about the ciphers from local beings in Zerath Mortis, rather than Veneri?
Because it feels like Blizzard forgot about the Venari story. Zix, first of all, thank you for the 100 bits, really appreciate that. But it feels like Blizzard forgot about a lot of sort of like storylines and stuff. Like the Venari one is just like, where is Venari? Now we're getting these new enlightened brokers, but what about Venari? Why could Venari not be our sort of hook into this world? She would have known something. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't get more Venari, right? Blizzard didn't show everything that's coming in the next next patch. They just showed the things that they thought was important. So it might be that Venari is actually the one through which we learn about this new world, right? So it's entirely possible that we still get to see that. But, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be rude. I love all of you very, very fucking much.
You've lost some weight.
Zix, thanks for the 50 bits.
Have a dumpling.
The only answer I can think of is that Firium has a problem with Veneri. Because if Firium is off Irem, then according to his report, he really does not like Veneri.
No, he doesn't like Venari. You're right. You are absolutely correct. None of them like Venari. Because remember, Venari basically killed her entire company to keep safe, right? So Venari is a traitor to most all of them. Nabari, thank you very much for the 2-month Prime sub. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll use your money now to go buy vaping liquid. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been an incredible Friday. I have to rush. I have to go buy some vaping liquid. Want to get something to eat as well. So need to bid you all adieu. I will be back on Sunday if there's no load shedding. Hopefully there isn't. Load shedding has stopped this morning. So hopefully we have no load shedding anymore. But I will be back on Sunday for those of you that is interested in the Shill Show. We'll do some discussions there. And then we'll be back on Twitch after the Shill Show for whatever the fuck we want to talk about, right? So really appreciate all of you coming out, hanging out with me. Please take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Be good to each other. And as always, I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.